presenting their idea and product. Then followed by urban innovation. Our rural innovation will be chaired by Mr. Prakash Apte, who is the chairman of Kotak Mahindra Bank. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mandar.
After the urban innovation session, which will be chaired by Dr. Vipin Kumar, who is the director of National Innovation Foundation, with 6 innovators presenting on urban innovation, we will have our mentor speak for 10 minutes as sharing his experience on our unique program on social enterprise mentoring program. And he will welcome our valedictory keynote, Mr. Vijay Mahajan, who is the CEO and director at Rajiv Gandhi Foundation and Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Contemporary Studies. We will have his keynote after that. And then after the judging done by all our jury who are a part of our sessions from various eminent jury from various corporates and organizations who will be judging there, we will then declare the 3 winners from one from each category at the end of the day. And after that, I'll request our fellow and Mr. Hitendra Singh to propose the vote of thanks. So that's how the day looks. And now I welcome again Mr. Prakash Apte to take this session forward. Over to you, Prakash, sir.
Thank you, Mandar. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I would like to thank Pune International Center and the organizers for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this session. I mean, rural area has always been very close to my heart. A large part of my career I spent working in the agri business. So as I was working, always the thought which used to come to my mind is the first Article 1 of our Constitution, which says India, that is Bharat. And as one has come to understand, the India from where I used to go to visit the rural areas, that used to be the Bharat. And that is where 70% of the people stay, even today. And rest of us, I mean, staying in the urban is the India, and the other is the Bharat. That is what is unfortunately the connotation which has happened. And I think we need to enable Bharat to connect better with India. And we must now, in last 15-20 years, certainly the road connectivity, electricity supply, and now the internet connectivity has improved quite a lot. And therefore, it is our social responsibility, if I may say so, to ensure that the facilities and opportunities in rural India and the urban India, they start to come on par. And we need to have, in everything that we do, we need to have a urban approach. That is rural as well as urban. Both need to be combined, and each one supports the other. And so what is now required is initiatives to improve productivity of people and resources in the rural India, to give them health facilities and services on par. Last but not the least, the education. And above everything else, to have additional livelihood opportunities to make sure that they are in a position to participate the emerging elements of our economy, in addition to what contribution they make, which is mostly in the agriculture area. So when I looked at the participants and the projects which have been presented here for social innovation, I was very happy to see the rainbow of ideas which encompass logistics to be improved, the agri-tech to be improved, digital application to be used, education to be improved. And so therefore, I would like to congratulate all the participants who have presented their projects. And without spending much time, I think let us try and take a look at these projects. I suppose the jury, now to the participants, I welcome all of you, for this meeting. Thank you for presenting your projects. And we have a jury panel, which I would like to introduce. First, Mr. Tushar Zuvekar. He's from KPIT. Then we have Naga Subramaniam from RSB Transmission. Then we have Ms. Beena Joshi from Force Marshal. And then we have Miss Nasra Roy from BP Exploration. So a very strong representation of the corporate sector by way of the CSR. Then we have the ecosystem partner represented by Mr. Ashish Garde of Magic. And we have some impact investors, Mr. Rohit Goel from Windrose Capital, Mr. Pankaj Mittal from Angel Investor, Mr. Amol Chafekar is also an angel investor. So I welcome the jury members and thank them to be here to participate in this event. And I would now like the participants to present their projects one by one. First will be Egois Business Solutions. Mr. Prathamesh Kant, please.
De-risking agriculture, working on agenda of financial inclusion and digitization. So the larger problem we are solving is that of agriculture credit. We know this is broken, and banks and NBFCs want to lend to small and marginal farmers, but it is not happening primarily because of lack of data and concerns around recoverability. So this is our starting point. So we met more than 250 farmers and asked them needs, aspiration, pain point. What we got to know from them was essentially post-harvest, it is also the speed of payment that matters to them, not only getting paid high, but also getting paid fast. So now there are two channels of sales available. One is government minimum support price channel, other is open market or APMC. While APMC pays immediate, MSP pays significantly higher than open market. However, the problem with this channel is payments are delayed because of procedural and bureaucratic reasons. So what do farmers do? Some farmers do not sell via MSP, and hence they realize lower income. And farmers who sell via MSP either choose to wait for the payment, which is an agonizing wait. This is a post-harvest and salary time for farmer, and any delay really hurts them a lot. And alternatively, they can raise money locally, right? Which of course comes at an exorbitant rate and its own terms. So the solution that we have built, simply said, is kind of doing a bill discounting of MSP receivables. So the model is that of financial intermediation. So we work with banks and NBFCs at one end and with farmers at other end, and we work in close partnership with primary agriculture credit societies. So we get an initial enrollment data from PACs, then we do our levels of underwriting, right? So essentially we filter out ineligible farmers for our product. Okay, so so we do an RTC, land record based filtering. We do automated account verifications by doing penny drops from ABPS, and finally identify relevant customers whom we invite to complete the documentation, which is powered by our mobile app. And once the documentation is completed and the process is set, then money gets disbursed directly from NBFC partner into farmer's account. And the last step is essentially ensuring recoveries. So once we have tracked that MSP payment has hit into farmer's account, then we do automated pool-based recovery. So we use National Automated Clearing House. So key impact to farmer, of course, payment delays is down from potentially 1 to 3 months to 1 day. So talking about product and technology, right? So we have a mobile app to do the entire field operations, and we have an internal loan management system. So, and then we are integrated through APIs with the service providers. So we have access to ABPS APIs for doing penny drop from NPCI, and we are integrated with Lotus Pay for NASH, and we are integrated with Yes Bank and Legality. So the entire signature is now digitally being done by mobile app. Only one layer of manual intervention is required, that is putting signature on physical NASH. Paper NASH is what we are using currently. Once we switch to eNASH plus eSign, then the entire process would become paperless and contactless. So we have worked in Gulbarga district of North Karnataka, and so far we have processed about 300 applications and made 80 disbursals worth 24 lakh of total notional. We have worked with 10 primary agriculture credit societies, and we have 0 NPS so far. So all successfully recovered. Talking about the market opportunity, right? So there are about 1 lakh packs in India, and potentially 10 crore farmers are capturable through this channel. Talking about MSP, there are 22 commodities covered and accounts for about 1.25% of annual GDP. The target addressable market is really huge here, right? And more importantly, the approach that we are taking, right? So we are working with primary agriculture credit societies, and the idea really is to create packs as a platform, right? So in order to facilitate flow of many more relevant financial products to small and marginal farmers through this particular channel. So the winds are very favorable. Government policy directives clearly talks about empowering packs, and the packs have been 40-year-old institutions in India and already been banking with farmers. They have a lot of data also, which can support a lot of underwriting once that data is converted into a more usable form. So the largest space we are in is agri fintech. Okay, so number one competition for any agri fintech startup today is informal financing, or say local money lenders, right? So compared to them, our interest rate is lowered, our process is completely professional and transparent, and we can provide access to multiple more products to our customers. And compared to other agri fintech startups, our key differentiators are that we put money directly into farmers' account. We do semi-collateralized financing. We are not into any collateral management, and we work with packs as channel partners. The kind of products that we intend to create are those products that are unconventional in nature, that no bank or NBFCs would themselves create. And the idea behind creating these products is to acquire customers. So it essentially drives our customer acquisition strategy. And once we have built our presence in a new geography and have offered our product and acquired customer, then the idea is to push existing, nothing new, existing relevant financial products through financial partnerships from banks, NBFCs, and other fintech startups to our customer base through packs as a platform. So the revenue model is essentially driven by the rate at which we get money from our NBFC partner and the rate at which farmers are being given this particular facility. And the average duration is 2 months. Average ticket size is 35,000 currently, and this would likely be increased once we increase the percentage of total receivables. And once packs as a platform starts takes off, then essentially new revenue streams would come. So essentially platform fees or commission on sales. So what we need to make this big, right? So investment is one front, right? So we would look to close our seed/pre-series round, and then we are looking to partner with multiple banks and BFCs and fintechs for essentially getting. It is for API banking as well as pushing existing products through packs as a platform, and yes, mentorship. More importantly, from rural perspective, right? So the mentors rural focused. Okay, so mentorship that helps us crack rural partnerships, rural hiring, and then partnership with relevant government institutions. So in 1.5 years, we want to do 50,000 disbursal and get 400 crore of notional. That's the cumulative disbursals. So I am Prathamesh, and I am ex-Goldman. I have been there for 7.5 years. We both come from finance background. Okay, I am BTech from IIT Kanpur, computer science, and my co-founder is graduate from IIT Roorkee, mechanical engineering. We were together in previous startup called Fairbond, which was essentially at an intersection of finance and travel. So we created a financial product for travel industry, and so finance happens to be our area of interest and strength, and so we are working together. So yeah, with this I would end my presentation and invite questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Prathamesh. I think we will take the questions at the end of all the presentations. I would now like to invite Mr. Ayush Nigam, and we will have a presentation on Distinct Horizon.
Hi, this is Ayush from Distinct Horizon. So I'm the co-founder and CEO. We have developed the powered fertilizer deep placement applicators in agriculture. We have international patents filed on our technologies. So our technologies lead to doubling the profits of farmers and do that extremely sustainably. We have partnered with some of the very prestigious partners across various sectors, including IDEO.org, which is the world's best design company. We are also propagating the technology with Tata Trust, Dr. Reddy's Foundation, Syngenta Foundation, and many more partners as well. So our technology, essentially the problem statement that we are trying to solve is of urea broadcasting. Urea broadcasting leads to enormous amounts of urea wastage and inefficient nutrient delivery to the plant. Now, as we all know, urea is one of the most prominent fertilizers used by farmers. Now, the wastage that happens because of urea broadcasting leads to massive amounts of environmental damage, which causes large amount of water pollution as well as global warming. On the other hand, this urea wastage leads to a huge burden on the country because our country is subsidizing urea to a huge extent, and that causes a lot of losses from the country's perspective as well. On the other hand, due to the inefficient nutrient delivery, the plant does not get nutrition properly, and hence the plant's health is weak, and the productivity also suffers. There is lower productivity, and there is a higher chance of crop failure as well. However, there is a solution, and the good thing is the alternative to urea broadcasting is urea deep placement, or UDP. Now, UDP is a two-step process where urea is compacted into briquettes or balls, and these balls or briquettes are deep placed at the root zone of the crop. Now, this method leads to 40% urea reduction. It leads to up to 25% extra production in rice and even in other crops, and many other benefits as well, which I will talk about later. So as you can see here, there have been tremendous interest globally in the UDP technique, and more than 20 countries across the world wanted to spread this technique. However, there was a major concern that the farmers were not able to adopt this technique because of its limitations, difficulty in practicing this technique manually. And that's where we come into the picture. So Distinct Horizon has developed these technologies to very easily implement this technique of UDP. As I said, we have partnered, we have done this in collaboration with IDEO.org. However, just to clarify, Distinct Horizon owns the patents on the technologies. Now, these are our machines. So as you can see towards the left and the right, there is a paddy applicator, and on the right, you can see a sugarcane applicator. We are obviously working on these two crops, but now we are also expanding into several other crops using these same technologies. We are working in vegetables, maize, wheat. We are testing out in multiple crops with Tata Trust and ITC in UP right now. And then from there, we will be expanding further. So these technologies have been validated by the government, certified by ICAR, and they have also been included in the SMAM, the Submission for Agricultural Mechanization, in 2020. We have also been approved for subsidy at the central level. Now, this is, I believe, the most important slide of the presentation. Now, these are the actual benefits that multiple stakeholders are able to get. Firstly, as you can see, there is enormous amounts of profits that farmers are able to generate with our technology. Up to 20,000 rupees per hectare per season as additional profits for paddy farmers, and 50,000 rupees per hectare per season for sugarcane farmers. On the other hand, even from the government perspective, this is equally alarming and equally large benefit that we are able to generate for the government. Just with a machine costing 1.5 lakh rupees alone, we are able to generate a saving for the government of the order of 18 lakh rupees in terms of urea subsidy savings. On the other hand, the entrepreneurs also benefit heavily as there is only a 1 year break even with this technology. Finally, in terms of environment, again, this is very shocking. The benefit that we are able to get is this is 5 times more cost effective in addressing climate change than solar panels. In fact, there are other benefits like improved soil health, lesser water pollution, and lower crop failure as well. So these results are also very visual. So as you can see with paddy and sugarcane, we have worked very widely, and these results are very, very alarming. So when we show this to farmers, they get very excited and they want to adopt it. Now, as per manufacturing, we have a very simple approach. We kind of get most of the parts, components manufactured outside, and we do the final assembly at our setup in Lucknow. As per the revenue model, we are looking at we kind of work on a two-step approach. So the first step that we are working on is institutional partnerships, like government and CSR and international agencies. These institutional partnerships are helping us seed the market by providing demonstrations across the country and even outside India, as I will elaborate later. On the other hand, in the second level, we are working with the conventional dealer distributors. We are already working with quite a few dealers and distributors across India to kind of take the thing forward to help the farmers procure these machines at the ground level. Now, in terms of funding, our startup has been mostly funded by grants and personal funds so far. In future, because this is a capital intensive business, we will require working capital and debt financing to take this forward. The current status of our technology, as I mentioned, the technologies are well validated by the government. We have received several very prominent international and national awards, including the USISTF, the Indo-US Grant, as well as Millennium Alliance for expanding in Bangladesh, and several international awards. Currently, we are working across 5 states in India, and we are entering 3 more countries by the Q1 of 2021. By 2021 end, we are looking at expanding all across India, in all the major rice and sugarcane belts, and then gradually into the other crops as well, and into 5 other countries. By 2022, we plan to reach 1 million farmers. So our predominant risk that we are trying to mitigate is of replication of our products, and we have a lot of strategies there. We have a very solid team of IITians as well as very senior government officials also in our team. This is the support that we're looking for: strategic collaborations for government bodies and corporates, guidance and mentorship on rapid scaling up of our business, and debt financing, as I mentioned. Thank you so much.
Hello, can you hear me? I would like now to invite Kalyani Shinde of Godham Innovations Private Limited.
Hi everyone, this is Kalyani Shinde, founder of Godham Innovations. We are working into an agri-tech sector where we're working towards redefining smart warehousing. Talking about what we are doing, India is the second largest onion producing country, which produces around 2 crores metric tons annually. 70% of this production is being stored in the warehouses for a period of 6 to 8 months. The challenge here is that every year the farmers are facing around 40 to 50% of wastage due to n number of reasons. Currently, we are working out of Nashik because Nashik contributes to 15% to the total India's production. And significantly, Maharashtra is the leading producing state in the country, followed by Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka. When we started working into this challenge, what we did was we wanted to understand the ecosystem entirely. So we categorized this problem into various categories, starting with crop cycle. Crop cycle is none other than from the start of sowing of the crop till the harvesting of the crop. We tried to research and contact farmers and understand how this process happens. And also we found out that there was a lot of lack of information and inappropriate decision making in that category. Second came warehousing. Warehouse is somewhere where onion as a crop, most of the time was spent there, and maximum wastage was happening in warehouses. And also, we being a digital team, we were looking forward to create a digital solution where it made sense. And third is market. Now, we all know that how onion rate fluctuate throughout the year in the market. There is around 800% fluctuation in the market. So we started working with warehousing as a category to help reduce wastage, and then we can probably increase to other horizons. Seeing what are the causes of the wastage today in the warehouses are seeing the microclimate. There is a lack of microclimate monitoring, maintaining, or how the warehouse is constructed today. So seeing that today, Godham, the solution we are offering lies into 3 major buckets, starting with smart infra. Smart infra is what we're trying to do is helping farmers with their existing structures. We don't want to tell them to construct a whole new warehouse because it will not be economically feasible for them. So we help them with minimum infrastructural changes to facilitate better storage practices. The second part is Godham Sense. It has further two parts. One is real-time microclimate monitoring in the warehouse, which is really important for any crop storage. Second is the USP of the product, that how do we identify wastage? Today, how farmers are identifying wastage based on the smell coming from the crop or based on the level going down. So we have found out a scientific way based on the gases emitted from the crop. We are actually sensing those gases real time and alerting the farmers based on that, which is the third part of the solution. We also have applied for the patent for the same. How Godham Innovations work today is we identify a warehouse, we help them retrofit the warehouse, we go and install the devices in their warehouses, and the data starts coming real time to us. The data is collected at the back end, we analyze the data, and then further we send alerts to the farmer based on the insights we have gathered from the data. The models which we are looking at, initially the first model, as you can see, the current product is we were placing devices in each and every part of the warehouse, but currently we are working towards an optimized model where we can reduce the hardware which is going in the warehouse and we can increase the intellectuals, the data, and make more decisions based on the data so that the cost of the product can come down. The value which we are proposing to the farmers is that we are helping them to reduce their post-harvest wastage. We are also helping them to remote monitor that warehouse. The farmer doesn't need to be physically present there. We're looking at providing parallel revenue options to the farmers, such as onion powder, processing industry, and connecting them with the players in that ecosystem. And we are also trying to help farmer grow good quality and quantity of crop based on the parameters collected from them only. Currently, what we are doing is we have three areas where we're working. We have partnered with Tata Trust, where we are starting our pilot near in December, which is in three major onion producing regions with 10 warehouses. Second plan is we've partnered with John Deere through their CSR initiative, and we're starting a pilot in 7 villages with 20 plus warehouses. The third plan is by the end of the next year, we're planning to target 30 individual warehouses. So this is like a sales target to us, and selling our product to them. Community warehouse is something where it has started 2 years back, where government has taken an initiative where farmer producer companies will now store onions. So we along with Tata Steel and Sayadri Farms have now taken up this area where we are constructing an microclimate control structure, an ideal warehouse, which will be an end-to-end solution where monitoring will be done by us for the farmer producer companies, where the wastage will be reduced. DOGR implementation is Directorate of Onion and Garlic Research Center. So we are looking at continuing our scientific study, which we previously have been doing with them for validating our product. This has been our journey so far. We joined Digital Impact Square, TCS Foundation initiative in January 2018, followed by Sayadri joining us as a domain advisor. Also ICR DOGR, which is in our Rajguru Nagar, it is a government research organization. We have applied for a patent, and we also have published our research. We incorporated ourselves last year. We were a part of another incubation center called Unlimited India, recently partnered with Tata Steel, Tata Trust, and we have a fellowship at IIT Bombay, partnered with John Deere, and a fellowship with Nidhi AI. These have been our key partners, which I already have talked about. The deployment strategy for us in the future is, the first business model is B2C, where we are targeting direct for individual farmers who have warehouses. They will have to be one-time paying for the product, and they will be charged for the subscription for the period of storage they are keeping the crop into. Financial projections a bit is like current year revenue shows that 90% of the amount is being coming from John Deere and Tata Trust, but we are still going to charge farmers 10% of the amount so that they can, that will be shown as a revenue to us. The next warehouses are 30 warehouses target, and then followed by 100 warehouses for the following year. The second strategy is, as I discussed about community warehouses, the end-to-end solution model, where we are targeting farmer producer companies as a customer, where this is in partnership with Sayadri Farms and Tata Steel, and this is going to be like a one-time product cost, installation, and then monitoring cost for them. Third business model is we are looking at helping farmers with consultancy, even farmer producer companies with consultancy regarding warehouse construction and crop storage methodology. And we're also looking at a revenue sharing with various partners getting into help farmers sell their produce. The roadmap for us looks like in October, we're planning to start up like pilot with Kharif onions in the warehouse, which we have already constructed with Tata Steel and Sayadri Farms. In February and March, we're planning to start our individual farmer pilot with Rabi onions. Followed by our R&D, we would like to start our R&D in parallel crops, and such as poultry and potato and tomatoes. And we're looking at partnership with farmer producer companies and CSRs and government bodies, and followed by market entry by the end of the next year. Our asks are majorly, we would request for network access to scale our business in different sectors. We are currently looking for funds which are required for R&D in other crops. Also fund to start our customer acquisition for the 30 warehouses. And we're looking at mentoring and guidance to enhance our business model. And a bit idea of what we are looking at for the first year, we're looking at least raising 30-35 lakhs, with the followed year around 50-55 lakhs. This has been our achievement so far. A lot of platforms have covered our story, personally my story as a founder of the startup working into this sector. Even our work was appreciated by late Arun Jaitley sir, also Agriculture Minister and Secretary of Maharashtra, as you can see in the screen. And I was also one of the top 5 NASCOM Meaty Entrepreneur Awards, which was in the finalist. This is my team. We are a 6-people team. Again, we have volunteers and part-time members. A mentor from Digital Impact Square, Mr. Sandeep Shinde. Domain advisors are the chairman of Sayadri Farms, Mr. Vilas Shinde, founding director of DOGR, current director of DOGR, and a senior scientist from there. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kalyani, for this interesting presentation. I will now like to invite Mr. Surender Yadav of SelfReliance India.
Hello, this is Surender Yadav and Akash Mishra from SelfReliance India. So 2015 में इंजीनियरिंग करने के बाद मैंने डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर में आने का फैसला किया, क्योंकि मेरा बिलीव था कि जब तक यूथ सोशल सेक्टर में नहीं आ पाएगा तब तक एनर्जी और इनोवेशन उस स्पीड से नहीं आ पाएगी जिस स्पीड से दूसरे सेक्टर में आ रही है। और मैंने गांधी फेलोशिप चुनी। एजुकेशन ही क्यों? क्योंकि मेरा मानना था कि एजुकेशन शेरनी का वो दूध है जिसे जो पिएगा वही दहाड़ेगा। आप किसी एक को भी अगर अच्छी एजुकेशन दे दो तो फिर उसको कुछ और देने की जरूरत नहीं है। सो गांधी फेलोशिप के दौरान कुछ ऑब्जर्व जो किया वो ये था कि जो फैमिली अभी तक पॉवर्टी में है वो शुरू से ही पॉवर्टी में रही है और उनकी एक सिंगल जनरेशन को अभी तक अच्छी एजुकेशन नहीं मिली है, क्योंकि ना तो उनको कभी स्कूल से सपोर्ट मिल पाया और ना कभी जो फैमिली है वो सपोर्ट कर पाई। और उसके लिए हमने एक रिसर्च भी की कि जो टॉप बच्चे थे सरकारी स्कूल में, जो टॉप आए थे 5th ग्रेड पे, उनको ट्रैक किया कि वो आगे जाके क्या करते हैं और पाया कि कोई भी बच्चा फॉर्मल जॉब सेक्टर में नहीं है। तो यहाँ पे देखा कि जो देश के लिए एसेट बन सकते हैं वो नहीं बन पा रहे हैं क्योंकि उनको एक्सेस नहीं है, सिस्टम उस तरह से इफेक्टिव नहीं है। तो हमने देखा कि क्या हो सकता है और हमने बहुत सारी चीजें देखी और हमने एक सिस्टम देखा जवाहर नवोदय विद्यालय 1986 में ये राजीव गांधी जी द्वारा स्टार्ट किए गए थे, इसी विजन के साथ कि जो रूरल टैलेंट है उनको मेन स्ट्रीम एजुकेशन में लाके किस तरह से एसेट बनाया जाए। और रेजिडेंशियल स्कूल खोले गए थे ताकि एक फैमिली जो बैकग्राउंड है वो हडल ना बने। तो आज हर देश के हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में नवोदय विद्यालय है और ये 6ठी से लेके 12वीं तक होते हैं और इनकी क्रेडिबिलिटी इससे ही अंदाजा लगाया जा सकता है कि इनमें जो एलुमनाई होते हैं वो 80 to 85% फॉर्मल जॉब सेक्टर में जाते हैं, यूपीएससी, आईआईटी, एनआईटी और अच्छी उसमें। और क्योंकि इसमें 6ठी के एंट्रेंस के लिए एग्जाम होता है जो हाईली कॉम्पिटिटिव होता है, 2 से 3% सक्सेस रेट होता है, तो काफी चुनिंदा बच्चे ही सिस्टम में जा पाते हैं। तो जब हमने इसको और थोड़ा सा देखा कि नवोदय सिस्टम में किस तरह के बच्चे जाते हैं, हमने पाया कि नवोदय में जो बच्चे अभी जा रहे हैं वो प्रिविलेज बैकग्राउंड से, जिनके पास एक्सेस है प्राइवेट स्कूल या कोचिंग का, और जिन बच्चों के लिए स्कूल विजन किए गए थे कि गरीब बच्चे इसमें जाए, वो तो जा ही नहीं पा रहे क्योंकि ना तो उनको अवेयरनेस है इस सिस्टम के बारे में और दूसरा जिस तरह की स्किल्स आती है एंट्रेंस टेस्ट में वो उसको क्रैक ही नहीं कर पाते हैं। तो यहाँ पे हमें बहुत बड़ा गैप देखने को मिला। इस गैप को पूरा करने के लिए और एक विजन की देश में 50,000 बच्चों में से अगर 25,000 बच्चे हर साल हम नवोदय में गरीब भेज पाए तो 25,000 फैमिली सस्टेन हो सकती है। इस विजन के साथ हमने एसआरआई शुरुआत की और हमारा प्रोग्राम नन्हे कलाम इनिशिएट किया, जो आफ्टर स्कूल प्रोग्राम था। गवर्नमेंट, हम एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 10 गवर्नमेंट स्कूल के साथ काम करते हैं और उन गवर्नमेंट स्कूल के 5th ग्रेड के बच्चों को आफ्टर स्कूल जो नवोदय में स्किल्स आती है, मैथमेटिक्स, रीजनिंग और हिंदी, उनके लिए प्रिपेयर कराते हैं ताकि वो इस एग्जाम को क्रैक कर पाए। और प्रिपेयर कराने के लिए हम वहीं के जो यूथ है उनको लेते हैं और इसमें हम जो पेरेंट्स हैं, जो कम्युनिटी लीडर हैं, उन सबको इन्वॉल्वमेंट करके रखते हैं ताकि चीजें सस्टेनेबल हो। अभी तक जो हमारे मेनली दो बेनिफिशियरी, एक जो बच्चा गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में पढ़ रहा है ताकि वो नवोदय में जाके अपनी फैमिली को पॉवर्टी से बाहर ले, और एक यूथ जो आगे जाके टीचर बनना चाहता है लेकिन उसके पास स्किल्स नहीं है, तो वो इस प्रोग्राम के थ्रू हम उसको स्किल फुल बनाते हैं ताकि वो बच्चा जो यूथ है वो जब खुद सिस्टम में जाए एज ए टीचर बन के, तो खुद सिस्टम को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर पाए। तो अभी तक हम 57 सेंटर्स में काम कर चुके हैं पिछले 3 साल में, हरियाणा के 3 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, और 900 बच्चों के साथ काम किया है। उसमें से हमारे 87 बच्चे नवोदय में सेलेक्ट हुए हैं। जो 3 सब्जेक्ट है, मैथमेटिक्स, रीजनिंग और हिंदी, उसमें जो लेवल बच्चों का इंप्रूव हुआ है वो 22% हुआ है, और गवर्नमेंट टीचर भी हमारे इस प्रोग्राम में हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं। अगर हम अपने अचीवमेंट देखें तो पहले जिन स्कूलों में हम काम नहीं करते थे वहां से केवल 4 बच्चे सिलेक्ट हुए थे, और हमारे इंटरवेंशन के बाद 87 बच्चे वहां से सिलेक्ट हुए हैं। पहले गवर्नमेंट स्कूल का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन नवोदय स्कूल में था वो 8 से 10% था, और हमारे इंटरवेंशन के बाद वो बढ़ के 30 to 35% हो गया है। तो माइग्रेशन होता था, अभी जो हो रहा है गवर्नमेंट टू प्राइवेट स्कूल, जिन स्कूल में हमने काम किया उनमें वो रिवर्स देखने को मिला है, और जिन डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हम काम कर रहे हैं वहां नवोदय के प्रति अवेयरनेस आई है, और सरकारी स्कूल या गरीब के बच्चे जो हैं वो अभी ज्यादा नवोदय के लिए फॉर्म अप्लाई कर रहे हैं। अगर हम बातचीत करें तो जो सेम कोचिंग सेंटर जो प्रिविलेज बच्चों को इसकी तैयारी कराते हैं वो इस पूरे 1 साल के लिए लगभग 50,000 से 1 लाख तक की फीस लेते हैं, और उनका जो कन्वर्जन रेट है वो 4 से 5% है। हमारा जो है वो पर चाइल्ड कोर्स जो आती है 1 साल के लिए वो 8,000 रुपए आती है, और कन्वर्जन रेट पिछले 3 साल से लगातार 9 से 10% रहा है। और हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट और गवर्नमेंट जो है वो इस प्रोग्राम को काफी पॉजिटिव उससे देखती है, क्योंकि इससे गवर्नमेंट स्कूल की क्रेडिबिलिटी बढ़ती है और बच्चे नवोदय में जाते हैं। अगर हम अपने कंपटीटर, हम उनको कंपटीटर नहीं कहते, बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन छोटे लेवल पे इस प्रोग्राम को कर रही है, उनका ये मेन प्रोजेक्ट नहीं है, तो हम उनको एज ए कोलैबोरेटर देखते हैं ताकि जब हम फ्यूचर में स्केल करें तो इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ मिलके इस प्रोजेक्ट को आगे बढ़ा पाए। अगर हम इस साल के अपने बजट की बात करें तो हमारा 3 डिस्ट्रिक्ट का जो बजट है वो अराउंड 35 लाख रुपीज है, जिसमें से अराउंड 6 लाख रुपीज हम रेज कर चुके हैं, और जो गैप फंडिंग अभी है वो अराउंड 8 लाख रुपीज है। हम हमारा जो प्लान है 600 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में स्केल करने का ऑल ओवर इंडिया, वो हमारे मेनली 4 पार्ट से। एक टेक मॉडल जिसमें हम अपना जो भी कंटेंट है वो पूरा टेक में या ऑनलाइन करके बच्चों तक पहुंचे। दूसरा जो गवर्नमेंट टीचर है उनको हम ट्रेन करें और वो बच्चों को पढ़ाए। तीसरा है पार्टनरशिप मॉडल की, जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्राइमरी लेवल पे बच्चों के साथ काम कर रही है इंडिया में, वहां उनके साथ हम कोलैबोरेट करें और अपना जो प्रोग्राम है वो उनके थ्रू डिलीवर कराएं। और चौथा है लोटल, जिसमें हम गवर्नमेंट से कहें कि वो ये इंश्योर करें एटलीस्ट कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा सरकारी स्कूल के बच्चे या गरीब बच्चे नवोदय का फॉर्म को बारे में पता चले और उसको अप्लाई कर पाए। एनसीआईएसआई से हमें जो सपोर्ट है वो चाहिए, एक तो फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट फॉर गैप फंडिंग, दूसरा आइडेंटिफाइंग जो पार्टनर्स हैं जो डिफरेंट देश में जो एजुकेशन में काम कर रहे हैं जो हमारे साथ कोलैबोरेट कर पाए, तीसरा मेंटरिंग की अगर हम इसको क्वालिटी के साथ स्केल कर पाए उसके लिए मेंटरिंग, एंड चौथा की जो अभी सिस्टम है नवोदय के साथ एडवोकेसी कर पाए कि वो इस तरह का कर दे कि इसमें एक इनकम स्लैब बना दे कि 2 या 3 लाख से कम परिवार वाले ही बच्चे इसमें जा पाए। ये जो टीम है हम 80 साल से ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस की टीम, हमारे मेंटर की टीम हमें एडवाइस कर रही है, हमें सपोर्ट कर रही है इस प्रोग्राम को रन करने में, और उनका बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा है और एक कंटिन्यूअस हमारे साथ बनी हुई। सो या थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, Surinder ji. Now, I will now like to invite Mr. Akshay Dikshit of Visago Innovations Private Limited.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Akshay Dikshit and I'm the co-founder of Visago Innovations. Visago Innovations is basically a startup working on reimagining the rural mobility ecosystem by working in close association with the small and marginal farmer community and also the associated farmer producer organizations. So the name Visago is an amalgamation of 2 words, Vesa meaning small farmer in Sanskrit and Togo meaning integration in Japanese. And hence we are working towards the integration and the aggregation of the small and marginal farmer community, and hence the name Visago. Talking about a brief background about myself, my name, you can say my name is Akshay Dikshit and I come from a defense background. The 3 generations before me have been Army and Air Force officers. I myself was selected for, you can say, flying branch in the Air Force. And however, I could not join that due to a medical condition. However, there is one very famous saying in all the defense families is that Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. And recently, Jai Vigyan. So hence my family has done justice to the statement of Jai Jawan, and I'm here to, you can say, do my part as Jai Vigyan and Jai Kisan. So we are currently supported by Digital Impact Square. It's a TCS Foundation initiative by Sayadri Farms and by Unlimited India. Talking about the problem that we are trying to solve, almost 60% of the Indian population depends on agriculture directly or indirectly, and almost 85% of them are marginalized. When I say so marginalized, these are the farmers who own less than 5 acres of land. And primarily, there are the various problems that each and every stakeholder faces. For a farmer, 10 to 12% of his annual income is solely spent on hiring these logistics services to take his produce from farm to marketplace. The reason being is a small farmer and is unable to generate that much money to buy his own asset. Hence, he has to hire it at a very high cost. Even after spending so much, there is no guarantee that he'll be getting that resource in time because there is a constraint in number of resources available in the village. Talking about a service provider, in this case, the vehicle provider, almost 20 to 30% of his vehicle is underutilized. The reason being is unaware of the existing demand in the vicinity. And considering that agriculture is a highly seasonal activity, there is a lot of inconsistency in the income. So post this, we did some co-creational workshops along with Digital Impact Square, along with Sayadri Farms, which is India's largest FPO, which happened to be one of our strategic partners and investors. We found out that it's also for a farmer, the purchase price is unknown and also the demand is unknown. Like there is no availability of market information. And also it's a credit-based and trust-based relationship. So this is the model that we proposed, and the advantage of this model is that it has been co-created along with, you can say, each and every stakeholder under a single roof. If you see on the left side are all the, you can say, villages. On the right side are all the retail customers. And in the center are the various agri-businesses. It can be a dairy, poultry, etc. And whenever there is a movement of, you can say, goods from farm to marketplaces, that is a point of time where a Gramic model is used. And during the complete supply chain, the farm operations management model is used. Talking about each and every one in detail, the first model, that is the Gramic model, is basically like a market linkage and aggregated logistics platform. Basically, it's like a mobile-based application on which we show the market information about what is the demand of the commodity, about how much is the rate of the commodity, how much we can say which markets are offering what rates, so that the farmer can make smart and informed decisions, ensuring higher profitability. At the same time, once we connect them to the market, we also connect them to the market through a vehicle provider, so that they can avail part loading facilities, and hence ensuring that the post-harvest expenditure is also reduced to a great extent. And then there is a regular pickup and delivery process involved. So this system was made live in Nasik previous year, and almost its system has been live for around 6 months, because we have recently closed this, you can say, initiative post the seasonalities. So hence we are right now live in 136 plus villages and delivered 55,500 metric tons of produce during the, you can say, the course of time it was live. One key thing I would like to highlight is that almost 7,000 metric tons of procurement was done despite of the COVID-19 restrictions, hence ensuring that farmers continue to produce, you can just send their produce to marketplaces. So this is the second model, the farm operations management model. It's basically like a highly customized ERP solution for agri-businesses of varying capacities to operate their, you can say, businesses. To give you a very simple example of this, we have primarily divided them into pre-harvest ERP solutions, post-harvest ERP solution, and market linkages, how we can connect these small and medium-scale enterprises to direct end customer. And hence, during the entire system, we provide end-to-end traceability. And this system, again, is actively being used by Sayadri Farms, which is India's largest FPO, and does a business of more than 650 CR. On the platform, and this recently have also been given to some smaller FPOs in Pune region. So this is the business model that we have. We have a, you can say, slab-based charging, and we charge them on the basis of tonnage that they procure, so as to ensure that they are only paying for the amount they are using. So the existing customer base includes Sayadri Farms, John Deere. We are piloting some few projects with them at Pune location, and Vindro Agritech, which is a FPO in, you can say, Pune area. The competition include local aggregators for the Gramic platform and farm ERP solutions for like Farm ERP, Cropin, and Kisan in the, you can see, ERP solution. Our current revenue is 19.65 lakhs. We are expecting a turnover, you can say, turnover to cross around 1 crore in the financial year 22-21. And if you see on the plans that we have, we are making an end-to-end solution for everyone to use, so that anything related to agriculture, Visago is the solution. So that is what we are working on. The business scope right now, we are focusing on agri industries, primarily fresh exports, processing and retail. Our future prospects include poultry, dairy and APMC markets. So this is the expectation that we have from PIC, access to PIC incubators, both past and present, for you can say collaborations and pilots to make an end-to-end solution, pilot in potential geographies and test the system there, and also guidance from the expert mentors, and obviously the financial assistance that it brings along with the, you can say, initiative. This is the key team profile. My name is Akshay Dikshit. I along with me have Ashish, Sarnika and Vaibhav. We have mentors Sandeep Shinde and Vivek Chundagar from TCS, and domain advisors Pankaj Juja from Tata Motors, and Vilas Shinde, who is the head of Sahyadri Farms. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshay. I will now like to invite Ms. Priti Gupta from Where Are India's Children?
Hi everyone, my name is Smriti Gupta. My organization, Where Are India's Children, is working on technology solutions to achieve 25x increase with child adoption in India. The key problem is that abandoned and orphaned children in India, when they reach child shelters, that is formerly known as child care institutions, CCIs, these children do not reach the legal adoption pool. In 2018, a government report showed that out of approximately 4 lakh children in child shelters, more than 50,000 should have been in the legal adoption pool, but the legal adoption pool is only at 2,000 at any point of time. Now, to put this another way, 22 of every 100 children in child shelters should be evaluated for reaching the legal adoption pool. But currently, less than 1 out of every 100 children gets evaluated and becomes legally adoptable. This has real-life consequences on vulnerable children. First of all, the child's right to family is violated, and it has long-term, lifelong negative impact on the children who reach the childcare institutions, putting them at huge risk of abuse and neglect, and they age out of the system and without any support. So the root of this problem is that there is lack of real-time, data-driven visibility into the abandoned and orphaned children at child shelters. The indicators that are needed to identify these children, such as their family contact, legal guardian status, etc., are either manually tracked or the data is not collected clearly, which means that the eligible children, they cannot be auto-flagged. And the local authorities, they do not get any real-time insights into the status of these children. So they're not able to move the children into the legal adoption process. What we are proposing is an open source technology solution, which would accurately and continuously identify abandoned and orphaned children at the child shelters and trigger their movement into the legal adoption pool. We'll do this by using the indicators and tracking them in an automated manner. So the data, the relevant data, should be tracked in an automated manner, and the children should be auto-flagged, thus providing real-time insights to the local authorities. Now, to do this, we need your support in 4 areas. Number 1, to deploy the solution on the ground, we need to secure government approval from the Women and Child Development Ministry. We are currently in discussion with the Pune WCD, with Telangana WCD and NCPCR. We need your support in getting us through these approvals. Number 2, if you're connected with any government innovation programs or incubation programs where our work can fit, please help us get connected with these programs so we are in partnership with the government. The third one, private companies can support us through CSR, but more importantly, private companies can support us through technology and talent support to help us deploy, to help us develop and scale the technology solution. And the fourth one is for foundation, if any foundations, trusts, and other charity groups can support us through grants and donations, that would be excellent. And again, more importantly, if certain foundations and trusts are working in districts in various states on existing programs, we would be happy to co-develop and co-deploy the technology solution within your existing framework, within your existing work. So these are the 4 areas where we would like your support to help us ensure that no child has to be unnecessarily institutionalized and every child can reach a family. So where we are. So right now we are at the yellow dot. We have completed the early ground research through 2019 and 2020. We have figured out the functional specifications for the technology solution. We have started the development of the prototype. Now in stage 1, we are hoping to complete the prototype development and secure the government approval. In stage 2, we plan to develop and deploy the solution in about 15 to 20 districts and collect comprehensive ground feedback. And in stage 3, we plan to expand our solution from 15 to 20 districts to multiple states and then eventually to pan-India. The funding that we require over the very first year is about 60 lakh INR, half of which would be used in product development and half of which would be used in product deployment. Again, we are looking at a deployment in about 15 to 20 districts. We are a Section 8 NGO, and our primary goal is to ensure that the tech-enabled solution is adopted and is used and produces results on the ground. We believe our biggest challenge would be changing the status quo, but we are well positioned to handle that. Our team has background in technology, business, HR, entrepreneurship, as well as counseling. We have all been working in this child welfare space for a few years now. And also since 2018, we have seen multiple government and Supreme Court directives, which are acknowledging that a child belongs with a family. So these directives are the headwinds that we need to ensure that the technology solution is deployed and used on the ground. So ultimately, we want that within 2 years and hopefully sooner, every eligible child in child shelters across India will enter the legal adoption pool. In the future, there would be a sustainable and real-time prompt flow of children into the legal adoption pool, so no child is subjected to unnecessary institutionalization, and children can reach families quickly and promptly. Now, this would not only ensure a 25x increase in child adoption in India, it will also help India meet the UN resolution, which is calling for an end to institutional care. As an adoptive parent myself, I can vouch for the life-transforming positive impact on children when they reach families and how they thrive with families. And we need to ensure that every child reaches a family, that every child reaches a caring and loving environment. So with your support, we can achieve a sustainable path to a family for every abandoned and orphaned child for decades to come. So please support us, please support our work. My contact information is at the bottom of the slide, and you can also reach us through the NCSI team. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Smriti. Thank you very much. I would like to thank all the presenters for presenting some very interesting and inspiring projects. It has been a rainbow of ideas, as I said before. Now we leave the floor open for members of the jury to ask the questions and engage with the presenters. Thank you.
So my request would be to the jury to specifically point out an innovator and ask a question to that innovator. We will also have certain questions from the participants of this conference, and we will take those also. Akasha, just for your information. And before we get into the jury questions, there were few inquiries, and people were enthusiastic to know about the participation of innovators from various states. So we have about 18 innovators from different states. 11 are from Maharashtra, rest of them are from Nagaland, Telangana, Meghalaya. Today's right now rural innovation, I'll just quickly name and mention the states. Agois Business Solutions, Prathamesh is from Karnataka. Where Are India's Children, Smriti Gupta is from Maharashtra. Distinct Horizon, Ayush Nigam is from Delhi. SelfReliance India, Surendra Yadav is from Haryana. Godham Innovations Private Limited, Kalyani Shinde from Maharashtra. And Visago Innovation Private Limited, Akshay Dikshit is from Maharashtra. So just to briefly tell about the participation from across the nation. Over to you, Prakasha, and the jury.
Yeah. Okay. So I think as was mentioned, maybe it would be good if jury addresses the question specifically to the...
Yeah, can I address the question to Mr. Ayush Nigam, District Horizon?
Yes, sir, sure.
Point number one, have you I think you used a 3R techniques very well: reduce, recycle, and reuse in the urea broadcasting. Now, I just want to know: have you taken the clearance from the government agency like Maharashtra Pollution Control Board?
Yes, yes, sir. So number one, sir, because the chemical is the same, it is still like the basic fertilizers.
I'm asking you: have you specifically taken the clearance from the Pollution Control Board? It's very important because I'm an environmental auditor. I have a lot
Right,
of things I know about it. So, have you taken
right,
pollution control clearance in the first place?
right. Okay, sir. So basically, this technique has been already added in the ministry. So the fertilizer ministry has also added fertilizer briquette, this particular method of application in the legal ways of applying fertilizer. So that has already been done by the ministry at the central level in Delhi. So I did meet those
No,
government officers, and at the policy level it has been.
urea is a chemical. You agree with me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Urea is a chemical. It has got to the material safety data sheet, MSDS, and all those things are there. Despite
Right.
the fact that it's already notified under the relevant notification, but it is mandatory for you to take the clearance from the Pollution Control Board. Have you tried it? Have you applied for it? If you have not done it, please do so.
Okay, okay. Sir, just to clarify, so there one thing is like so from the ministry perspective, that thing has already been added, and in terms of pollution, actually it reduces drastically. But yes, I'll check with that. I'll check that, sir. Yes, yeah,
And whatever pollution you're reducing,
yeah.
is it certified by the authorized pollution control labs? The labs have got to
Right.
certify. They have a special parameters, a special instrument which are used at site. Because I'm a international lead auditor, international list of certified auditors, I do certify companies. So this thing is very important that you have to get this thing measurement done, certified by the Pollution Control Board approved labs. It's very important. I appreciate you're doing a very good job. 3R technique you're using, reduce, recycle, reuse, excellent. But it needs to be ratified. There's got
Right.
to be done in a banner. So I thought I'll give you a very important input. Please
Right.
do this. And second question
Sure.
what I want to ask you is the machine body I've introduced. Number one, have you checked the affordability by the farmers? And second is, what is the after-sales service support in terms of spare and service? These are two things.
Right. Sir, so firstly, in terms of affordability, so we kind of ran through 6 states to kind of pilot this technology to test how farmers respond, and after that, how they kind of adopt the technology. So I think that part has gone very successfully. So we are seeing that farmers are willing to adopt this. However, what we understand very clearly is that each and every farmer does not need to buy it. And they will not buy it. So on an entrepreneurial model, so where one entrepreneur, the person who owns the tractor, can buy the technology and rent it out to say 20, 40, 50 farmers. So that is the model that is seeming to work out very nicely, sir, at the ground.
I mean, absolutely
firstly,
fine. But what I'm just trying to understand, for example, you buy a car and you look for after service support, whether the dealers are there to take care of the servicing and spare parts. So how that issue you have addressed?
Exactly. So in terms of the maintenance part, so what we have done is, so we have collaborated with the dealers, distributors. So what they are doing is they are stocking our spares at their end, and we are training their service people so that live support can be given at the ground level itself. So this is working out very nicely for us. Only in case of emergencies where, say, for example, the local person is not able to take care, that is when we have to send our person from Delhi or Lucknow to ensure that the thing is taken care of. But in 99% cases, that is not required.
Are you ensuring that the local dealers are keeping enough stock of the spares? Because what happens, suddenly there is a breakdown. There's got to be attended to immediately.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So have you ensuring that the dealers are stocking the spares sufficiently at their end?
Yes, sir. So in fact, what we have done is we have built that as part of our initial agreement itself to kind of have the minimum stock based on the machines that they have in their market. So we have kind of done that sort of an agreement with the dealers and distributors to ensure this element. But I think the point that you've brought out is very, very important, sir, and very valuable.
I worked for a genset company, and I was heading the spares operation of 30 crores about 25 years back. So the after-sales support is very important. The genset goes breakdown, then you had it. The whole factory goes to this thing. Similarly, the farmers, which is a lifeline, the after-sales support, the breakdown is very, very important. So that's what I thought I can address the issue. I think I've asked so many questions. I think I've got some more questions to ask other people also. But I think I'll leave the floor open to the other people.
Yes, Pankaj Mittal,
Bina. Yes, please, Mandar. You are saying something, Mandar.
Yeah, so we have other juries. Bina ma'am, you have any question?
So apart from Surendra and Smriti, I want to ask all the other innovators, and it resonates with what Mr. Santosh Kadu has put in the chat, as to what percentage of your farmers that you are targeting would come from marginalized or disadvantaged sections. You can just give a percentage. So if you want to ask more questions, I think the question should be brief and the answer should be brief too. So we give justice to all.
So is this a specific question to a social innovator?
All four apart from Surendra and Smriti, because everybody is in the agri space. So what percentage of the clientele you think you would serve come from marginalized or disadvantaged sections? So maybe we can start with Prathamesh.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. In our case, we are working with small and marginal farmers, right? So the farmers who require post-harvest receivable financing, right? So and based on for the actual data, right, we have more than 90% farmers belonging to, I mean, very few are so to say well-off and rich farmers, right?
Okay.
And so more than 90% farmers belongs to this particular category, and also 15% women.
Okay. What about Ayush?
Yeah, so it is similar but slightly lower, I would say. So it is close to 80% for us, because most of the farmers who are taking it on rental are the smaller farmers, and that is a very big number for us.
Yes. Okay.
So 80-85% is.
Okay, that's quite high. What about Kalyani?
Yeah, hi. So for us, it is around 85 to 90%, which will fall. This is because our major target is individual farmer warehouses. So these are warehouses which range from like 30 to 40 metric ton warehouses. So which are very small, and that much production every farmer has along with other crops. So very few farmers have like 1,000 metric ton, 2,000 metric ton structures. It's more majorly merchants and exporters. So yeah, 80 to 85 to 90.
Okay. What about Akshay?
Hi, ma'am. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah. So, ma'am, for us, it's around again 75 to 80%. The reason is that Nasik, as a you can say area, has a lot of farmers who are well-to-do because of the horticulture trend that is followed here in Nasik. But yet we have seen that 80 to 85% of our farmers, close to I would say 75 to 80, I would say to be exact, are the farmers who are actually marginal in nature.
Okay, thank you. So just another comment actually. I saw Sahyadri Farms coming up very prominently in most of your presentations, as I think they're grooming or mentoring you and Mr. Shinde. So I don't know, but I wish to just note that I think we should really recognize him to be a good mentor, looks like.
Yeah.
So I've never met him, but
I think that is a good point. I second it, Pina.
Yes, so I think we should really meet him or ask him to make a presentation next time at the conference. And for Surendra, I would like to ask that you said you're going to use technology as one of your options to spread it across probably many states. Are you aware of what is the coverage that you would have if you have to leverage the technology? Because presence of electricity and internet connectivity, how do you think you are placed if you want to use that technology as a leverager?
Yeah, so बीना जी, जो हमने हरियाणा में या यहाँ पे देखा है, तो स्मार्टफोन की अवेलेबिलिटी आजकल ज्यादातर लोगों के पास है. तो हमारा था कि अगर किसी के पास अगर कुछ भी नहीं पहुंच रहा है, तो उससे बेहतर है कुछ कंटेंट पहुंचे और हमारा टारगेट है कि 600 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में जाना है, तो विदाउट टेक्नोलॉजी वो काफी मुश्किल हो पाएगा। तो जितना भी हमारा कंटेंट है उसको हम किस तरह से बहुत इजी वे में और जो ज्यादा डेटा ना ले, और किस तरह से ऑफलाइन में काफी अभी चीजें आ रही हैं एडटेक में, तो उनके साथ कोलैबोरेट करके उसको आसान बनाया जा सकता है। बट डेफिनेटली चैलेंजेस रहेंगे जहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, कनेक्टिविटी एक हर्डल रहेगा।
So last question to Smriti, and then I stop by actually complimenting each and every one of you for doing wonderful work. So Smriti, thank you for drawing our attention to a fact which even I had overseen or neglected in spite of being in the space for a very long time. So thanks to you for bringing out the details with the statistics, and I wish more people join in your effort. So I would just like to stop by complimenting you and good work.
Can I just address a query to Godham Innovation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a very good one. The idea about the e-solution, the mobile application, what you have done, it's more a software based. Are farmers sufficiently educated to operate this application?
Sir, I think I have
training have you given? Because you have the language problem, then you have the all are English mostly, whatever is being done. How the site you are able to will be able to manage, and what's the literacy? I mean, you have to assess the literacy level of the people who can operate the application.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
and sorry, I'm just
no issues, please.
Okay, now last question I want to put: why you chose Nasik? No, Lasanggaon should have been much more better. Lasanggaon, there where the entire onion is there, where the results should have been wonderful.
Yeah.
And for lastly, have you taken FDA approval?
Yeah. So I'll start with the second question.
So many questions I put across. I hope you'll be able to remember.
Yeah. So starting with the second question first, I have born and brought up in Lascelles. My family is still from Lascelles. So we have an agriculture background, and I have been growing up in that onion ecosystem. So we have also started from there, but Nashik as in because initially we wanted to get in touch with a lot of innovators who can join me in this program, and we can start by meeting partners. So that's why Nashik. But yes, initially the farmers we have identified are from Lascelles, and we are looking at starting from there only.
Okay.
So yeah, addressing the first thing also, we don't have a mobile application, sir. We have an IoT device which we ourselves go and deploy. And when we're talking about alerts, it is like a message alert. We don't give them any application. We don't need smartphone. It is a message text alert, which is being deployed in a different language. And it will be a basic message saying that what is your temperature, humidity, and there will be a stack number. There will be a partition number. And in this partition, 5% wastage. So if it is in Marathi, इतना वेस्टेज झाला है, if it is in Hindi, इतना वेस्टेज यहाँ पे हुआ है, आप ये एक्शन लीजिए. So that is there. And third, for the FDA approval, we have not yet got in touch for that, but we are working with DOJ or ICR. So we hope to look in future once we have scaled to our bed. So yeah.
You might have legal complications. That's the reason I'm just warning you.
Yes. Thank you so much, and I'll sure look into it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our investors, if any questions to our innovators, otherwise we move to the next, looking at the time. We have overshot the time. So Rohit, you have any question?
No, Manda, I believe in interest of time, let's move ahead so we can also address. So what I'm going to do is probably in the feedback form we are sending ahead, I'll just type down my queries as well.
Sure, the criteria and the sheet. Yes. Okay.
So,
Prakash sir, yeah.
Any questions from the audience you are wanting to take?
So there was one question, I think there's exclusively targeting the innovator in the agri sector. I think that probably will go to Visago. Akshay. So it's, how do you think mere technology can solve the problems in agriculture sector? How far your proposed technological innovations are accessible for marginalized and disadvantaged farmers? So this question has come from Santosh Kadu.
So Akshay, will you like to give it a quick response?
Yes.
Short one?
Yeah. Sure. Thank you so much for the question, sir. And in the interest of time, I'll be very, you can say very concise and short. So in a very, you can say short sentence, it would be yes. The reason being that when it comes to farmers, as was rightly pointed out with many of, you can say one of my co-speakers, almost every farmer has a mobile, or any at least there is one smartphone in the complete family. And the systems that we have built, the software, the mobile application that we have built, it is actually contextualized to your local languages, and it's so simple to understand. It's like just in a click of buttons, 1 2 3, that's it. First page you simply see the market rate, second page you simply see the vehicles which are going there, thirdly you book, that's it. So these are the 3 clicks that you need to do, and hence ensuring that maximum people are able to use it, even if there is no training provided. So that would be my answer to it, sir. And hence we have actually seen, due to this ease of simplicity of use, we have seen majority of the farmers are actually going to into this system, and more we are actually getting a lot of traction when it comes to rural India. I would say particularly in Lasik region, and hence we're expanding to Pune and Ahmednagar districts now.
Okay, good. Thank you. So I think if there are no further questions, I will like to bring this session to a close. I would like to thank once again all the innovators for presenting such interesting and very inspiring projects indeed. We wish you all very, very best. I'm sure number of participants who are there, as well as the Pune International Center members who will get information about your projects, will be quite enthusiastically responding to your call for support, guidance, whatever that may be. And I would also like to thank members of the jury for studying the proposals, raising the questions, and we look forward to your final inputs with regard to ranking of the various projects. And finally, I would like to once again thank the organizers, and particularly to Mandar for organizing the whole event very well. Thank you very much. I declare this session as closed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Look forward to see you soon. And moving on to the next session, that is Urban Innovation session. We have with us Dr. Vipin Kumar, who is the director at National Innovation Foundation. Hello, sir. Welcome. He'll be chairing our session on urban innovation. Sir, welcome, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mandar. I'm thankful to Pune International Center, other partners, TIS, for giving me this opportunity to chair this session. Always, it is, encouraging to attend this national conference on social innovations. I found lots of, excellent innovators who got good support from the investors, and many of them have reached to the masses, in fact, or they are in the journey to reach to the, the masses through commercial or through social way. So today's session is going to be very interesting session. In fact, we do have 6 innovators. A vast range of innovation they do have, from waste to wealth, from food, transportation, education, and environment, in different kind of, concern of the society or environment or the industry they are trying to, address. So we will give, 7 minutes to every innovator, and so that we could finish it in 42 minutes, and we could have some time for question and hours. I'm thankful to the jury members, Mr. Tushar Juvekar, Naga Subramaniam, Bina Joshi, Nasra Roy, Ashish Garde, Rohit Goel, Pankaj Mittal, and Amol Chapekar. Your support indeed, in fact, in judging these innovators and is immense to us. In fact, I was listening your questions in previous sessions also, which are very important, in fact, and sometimes it is difficult to judge any innovator, but when the clarity, through the questions of jury is there, then definitely it helps a lot, actually. So I would not take much time. I would directly go on the presentation side. So we have, 6 innovators here. Sasant Nimkar, from the founder of Ardantava, Sonar Kane, founder of Quick Lab LLP, Sapnil Joshi, founder Eco Regain Solutions Private Limited, Purva Desai, founder Recube Circular Solutions, Sasank Gupta, founder NOM, and Deepak VS, founder Tilt. So all the people are here. I hope, Mandar, all the people are here, in fact. So let me invite first Mr. Sasank Nimkar, the founder of Ardhantava, for his presentation.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining. I'm Shashank Nimkar from Earth Tattva. I've been recognized as a circular economy pioneer by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation for my contribution towards circular ceramics. And I'm also an ambassador for the World Design Organization for their Young Designers Circle. And I'm an alumnus from the National Institute of Design. So the problem that we are working towards is that archaeology has shown us that ceramics, once fired, don't biodegrade for centuries. And ceramic industries today are facing daunting challenges about what to do with their production waste. A single manufacturing cluster in India has landfilled around 18 landfilled materials equivalent to an 18-story building of the size of a football field. And this has a serious concern with environment because we have finite clay reserves, and these discarded waste represents not just the rendered unusable waste, but also the need for further mining of these minerals. And also, it also reduces the fertility of the soil at the landfill. So our solution is that we turn this landfill ceramic waste into a reusable ceramic material. And we process this waste in a closed loop zero waste manufacturing process. And thus it follows and supports directly the Sustainable Development Goal 12, which is a responsible consumption and production. So there are various benefits to this for different stakeholders, like the consumers get to use these durable products, and the guilt of using higher carbon footprint products is much lesser because of this. And plus the industries get rid of all the landfill waste that they have been dumping since decades. And they have a lower dependency on the mined materials because this natural reserves have inconsistent supply of regular materials. So that also reduces. And of course, the environment gets vacated and the soil gets rejuvenated. So the edge of Earth Tattva's recycled ceramic material is that one is that because it's a castable material, so we don't have any restriction in terms of what shape and products can be produced. And the casting rate is 50% quicker, so that increases our productivity. And the temperature that we use to mature this clay body is 100 degrees lesser than the regular ceramics. So there we save a lot of fuel in the firing temperature, and also there's a lot of financial saving as well. We got this material tested by CGCRI, which is a Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, and they have reported this recycled material to be 35% stronger than traditional ceramics. So this is our circular model of making this material into a recycled product. So the usual linear ceramic process ends up at dumping, whether it's from production process or from post-consumer waste. And we procure this post-industrial waste for now and use 60% of this recycled content, and with minimum amount of virgin clay, which acts as a natural binder. And if we see here, the firing temperature for regular ceramics is around 1200-1220, while we use only 1120 degrees Celsius. That's a lot of saving. And because we are using clay itself as a natural binder, so we are essentially working with a monomaterial. So this helps us to keep reusing our waste for multiple production cycles in a closed loop zero waste manufacturing process. These are our minimum viable products made out of 60% recycled content, 100% food safe, and 35% stronger. And we chose to make tableware to begin with because tableware is the only ceramic product that the consumers choose to buy themselves. And this helps us to propagate the brand because these products act as stock triggers, and they help us to spread awareness and conscious consumerism as well. And so our target customer audience is the ecological aware individuals and who are empathetic towards judicial use of resources. So these are the retail buyers, but we also will work with institutions like organic food cafes and luxury restaurants. And the industries who are currently manufacturing ceramic products, we can also license this material for them so that they can keep continuing to make all the beautiful functional products that they are making right now, but reduce their need for further mining of natural resources. While the channels, of course, remain the e-commerce, but we will also focus our offline channels through sports specialty and gourmet stores, because they already have our target audience as a base. So that will be very easy for us to penetrate the market. And the revenues come from hospitality partnerships and a strong distribution network from tier 2 and tier 1 cities and retail chains of these gourmet stores. So just to reiterate, our unique selling points is that this material is 35% stronger, reduces mining by 60%, is 100% recyclable, and also uses lesser energy to fire. So it was discussed with a couple of stakeholders and prominent individuals in the industry that what's happening with this waste right now. And we realized that it's just being dumped right now, and some unorganized sector industries are using up to 2 to 3% of this recycled content in their composition, while some of the organized sector industries are using 8 to 10% of it. But so we are trying to take a big leap of this towards using 60 to 70% of recycled content. While the recycling market also has a huge potential, so it's said that if we dump down 10,000 tons of waste, it generates only 6 employment, while if we recycle the same amount of waste, we generate around 36 employment. So there's a huge scope for employment generation as well. And so recently, Bain & Corporation came up with a report for World Economic Forum that 30% of Indian consumers have incremental spend towards healthy and organic food and other lifestyle spends. So that's our market, and that even if you have 1% of the market, it's going to be a big penetration in the market. And because it's a universal material, you can expand into multiple verticals of ceramic products. It's not just tableware, we can make furniture, architectural applications, and many other things. We have been covered by various reputed and revered publications from different platforms. And recently we were awarded as the national winner for the prestigious James Dyson Award. And we were also part of the Global Grad Show, where only 100 graduation projects from around the world are selected to showcase their output. And we have received inquiries from the likes of Fab India and Sangat Architects and various other industries as well. So the plan is to have an established recycled ceramic brand for retail, and then work with the hospitality industry as well as architects to spread over different verticals of different product line. And then eventually we'll export these products to other countries as well. And of course, this whole venture has a potential of job creation for all different kinds of skill sets, whether it's semi-skilled makers or skilled industrial designers, architects, and many other individuals. So right now, ask is for rupees 50 lakhs to be able to set up our production unit and have a runway of 12 months. And also, we will really be happy to have some introductions to gourmet stores so that we can have our products listed there, and mentorship for business development and other marketing prospects. And so if someone is interested in investing in us, then we are more than welcome to have discussions with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Sasank, for a wonderful presentation. Let us move ahead, and now I'll invite Sapnil Joshi. Sapnil Joshi for Eco Regain Solution.
Hello, this is Swapnil Joshi, and I am founder and director of Eco Regain. As a education wise, I have completed engineering and MBA, but despite of this technical background, I have started this Eco Regain initiative because I come to know very serious fact about the old cloth waste. As we know that each year we purchase new cloth, we use it say for 1 year and 2 years, and once we have used it again, how we dispose it. Usually we give it to any NGO or we give it to any needy person, but eventually through all these processes, old clothes are going on landfill, where these old clothes are just piling up. And because of that, it almost takes 40 years to 100 years of time span for decomposition. But when these old clothes get decomposed, they mainly produces 2 gases. One is carbon dioxide and second one is methane. Now methane traps heat 28 times more, which is causing global warming. Hence, we need to understand that old cloth waste are equally responsible for global warming. This is facts about the old cloth waste in India. According to the report, 68% of the total population purchase new clothes each month. Out of that, 53% of population discard their old clothes. Because of that, 80% of these clothes are going on landfill. And in numbers, 9 billion clothes each year are going on landfill. So this process I have already mentioned. This is a repeat process where we are purchasing new clothes. We are giving it to NGO. We use it as a second-hand cloth, finally going on landfill and global warming. So this is an unending process and we need to complete it. EcoRegen has done research on it, and we have identified that if we are going to use 1 kg of old cloth again, it is going to reduce 3.6 kg of CO2 emission, 0.3 kg of fertilizer use, 6,000 liters of water consumption, and 0.2 kg of pesticides use. So in this way, we can able to save environment if we are going to recycle or reuse clothes again. Now, how EcoRegen works? EcoRegen accepts all types of old clothes and we recycle and upcycle them into very unique, sustainable, and fashionable way. As a commercial wise, we accept old clothes at 10 rupees per kg wise, and in exchange to that, customer can able to purchase upcycle and recycle products. For example, if person is having 20 kg of old clothes, the value will come 200. And if he purchase product for 500 rupees, then 200 will get deduct from that. So in this way, as an exchange we work, and as person is going to use upcycle and recycle product, he is directly or indirectly, he is contributing environment saving. For the old clothes collection, we do various campaigns at corporate, society, and exhibition. In upcycling process, we do collect old clothes, we do segregation of that, we do washing of that cloth, and finally we do designing and we make a final product. In recycling process, we accept clothes, we do segregation, we take thread out of that, and again we bundle that thread together to form a new thread. And from that new thread, we manufacture various products. EcoRegen is extensively working on household waste. In upcycle products, we have these handbags, sling bag, travel bag, kitchen apron, this kind of product. As in pics, you have seen that each and every portion of cloth we have used is again like flap, trouser, kurti, denim, and leftover cuttings also. In recycled products, we have carpets, satranji, sofa patti, chadar, these kind of products. In 2019, we have entered into fashion segment where we have launched our own fashion show, which was India's first fashion show, where we have used old cloth. From old clothes itself, we have manufactured all these apparels. As you are seeing in the photograph, it's like trousers, sari, ties, shirts. We have used it as a fashion product. So currently we have explored 70 plus product range, and soon we are launching in home decor also. EcoRegen has established its own showroom where people can come and they can able to give their own clothes and able to purchase the product. And to manufacture all this product, we have established our own vocational training and production center for women empowerment, where we are giving training to needy women, and these needy women are only making all these products. Also, to empower more women, we have tie up with Rotary Pune, where we are conducting these training sessions at various society and in various social help group, where they are making all these products for us also. So in last 2 years, we have collected 30,000 kg of old clothes. From that old clothes, we have upcycled and recycled 6,500 plus product. Sale-wise, we have achieved 12 lakh sale, and 3,400 plus green citizen has already associated with this initiative. We have empowered 20 men and women, and because of all this, 1,08,000 kg of CO2 and methane emission we have able to achieve, which is a very great in number. There is another aspect to old clothes where there is a soldier's old clothes problem. Soldiers can't give their old clothes to anybody, and they can't sell it also. So in this way, EcoRegen has come forward. We have provided the solution. So we do accept all soldiers' clothes. We are making different products out of that, and we are giving back to them. So in this way, we have solved their problem. Revenue model also, there are 6 pillars of EcoRegen, where we are selling products through showroom, in event exhibition, through online B2C, online B2B. And we are developing a channel for dealer, export, franchisee, shop-in-shop, and we are also targeting corporate and government. So we have entered into retail sector where we are selling products through different shops in Pune, Hyderabad, and Aurangabad. Marketing-wise, electronic media has helped us to spread awareness about the old cloth waste. We have got aired on ABP Mass and some news channel. The print media also help us to spread awareness, and to because of that, more and more people are now aware about this initiative. Audience-wise, we have age group of 25 to 34, and gender-wise, 74% women and 26% men are following us on Instagram and Facebook. Top 5 cities where people are interested for the EcoRegen like Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, Nashik, and Kolhapur. There are currently, as per our knowledge, 3 competitors. One is a Gunj, which is a non-profit organization. Doodle Age works particularly on industrial waste, and House of Pondering works particularly in silk. Why we are different? Because we are works on household waste particularly. We are not only taking clothes, but we are making something valuable out of that clothes. That's why we are completing the cycle. We have positioned ourselves as a brand. That's why our focus is on product design and aesthetic view. In next 5 years, we want to reduce carbon emission by 10 lakh kg. I think last month, our Prime Minister has launched a mission to reduce carbon footprint. Also, we want to launch our recycle mall to showcase all these recycled products. We want to spread across 30 cities, including Tier 1 and Tier 2. And to achieve this, we need to generate employment for 10,000 needy men and women who are sustaining on very low income. Business model-wise, we want to expand in these Tier 1 cities through shopping shop and through franchisee thing. We are looking to expand in Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, and other Tier 1 cities as compared to intake production capacity. As the production capacity to increase, we are looking for the financial support. We want to get connect to corporate companies and CSR fund. Also, we want to get connect to central government as well as state government for waste management. So till now, we have raised 13 lakh funds and other 2 are like cash rate term loan. We are expecting fund 5 crore in next 5 years to expand in Tier 1, Tier 2 cities. And it will be used for the production, franchise, and branding and operation. So this is about me. I have completed engineering MBA. In 2013, I have received National Level Young Entrepreneur Award at IIT Bombay. These are our 2 co-founders who is helping to grow EcoRegen and having their own expertise in their own field. This is about our team. Thank you so much. And I think we need to understand the importance of old clothes waste.
Thank you, Mr. Sapnil Joshi, for excellent presentation. You are doing very good work. My best wishes to you. Now let me invite Sonal Kane from Flip Quicker Labs. Sonal.
Hello from Flip.
Yeah.
Flip is a novel book sharing app which allows children to crowdsource a library and exchange books with their friends within the premises of a school. We, the co-founders of Flip, are engineers at heart and believe in using tech for good. The idea originated last year. My driver enrolled his daughter in an English medium school and was not sure about how to develop her language skills. I advised him to get her to read more books, to which his response was, "Which books and how much do they cost? I can barely afford textbooks." So I volunteered to lend him a book every week from my daughter's book collection. It worked well, and she continues to request books. This got me thinking, this must be a common problem across households. We did a market survey which told us that most parents struggle to keep children away from the screen and wish they would read more. They also find it inconvenient as well as expensive to make books available to children on a regular basis. We realized that there was an opportunity here to help millions of children. So we built Flip, a free digital book sharing platform, which cuts the affordability barrier and encourages reading via peer influence, which makes reading fun. Here's a short video introducing Flip. We piloted Flip in 3 schools for children to crowdsource a library of a variety of books and exchange them within the safe premises of the school. It was voluntary, and we got overwhelming feedback from children and parents. In no time, children figured out the book logistics and made new friends over books across classes. Children were excited about receiving book requests and sharing their books. They were discussing books with their friends, experimenting with different genres, and exploring new authors recommended by their peers. With Flip, stakeholder benefits are multifold. Reading for leisure helps develop language skills. Through Flip, children learn to share a valuable resource and trust their peers with it, a unique way to learn life skills. In normal circumstances, a child is always dependent on a parent to procure a book, either from a library or a bookstore. With Flip, the child is empowered to make a choice of which book he or she wants to read and take onus of procuring it. Parents do see an obvious benefit in convenience and cost. Through Flip, educators introduce social emotional learning concepts like decision-making and good social behavior across age, gender, and social class amongst children. Currently, we operate only in English medium schools within Pune, but we intend to grow across languages and states in the near future. We are optimistic about our scalability, given the comparison with our market competitors and the fact that the platform requires no investment in inventory or logistics. We are excited to be a part of NCSI and to interact with all you incredible people. Our aim is to make reading fun for children across and keep the platform free to use. To be able to scale across cities, we would like you to connect us to educators and schools, which help us establish credibility quickly. To meet our aggressive growth plan, we will eventually need funding. And before that, we certainly need your assistance with the valuation process of our platform. Lastly, we want to raise seed funding in 2021, and we hope you are able to connect us with the right people who align with our vision and help us grow. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to present Flip. We look forward to working with you in the coming months.
Thank you, Sonal Kane, for excellent presentation. A simple, enjoyable, and impactful, concept. My best wishes to you and your team. Now let me move to the next speaker, Sasank Gupta from NOM.
Hey everyone, my name is Sasank Gupta, and today I'm presenting about NOM. NOM is a plant-based sustainable solution startup based out of Mumbai, India. So quickly starting, who are we? So we are a plant-based edible solutions, which is trying to, save planet Earth by shifting humans' consumption behavior. And how do we intend to do that? We have 2 solutions right now. One is plant-based snacks and the other one is plant-based seafood. In plant-based snacks, we decided that we want to start with, edible packaging solutions, under which we have flavored edible drinking straw, we have flavored edible spoon, forks and knives, and a whole lot of other, product in the category. In plant-based seafood, very interesting product we picked, which is we are trying to make plant-based shrimps using all protein, which is still under the prototyping phase. As you would have figured out, we are a sustainable company. So everything that we do, it has got to be 100% biodegradable so that we have net positive impact on the environment. And we just don't make solutions for the sake of it. We want to, enhance the experience of the consumer so that it becomes the habit of the consumer. That is where we are. Our approach is always experience driven. The core problem is that humans' food and beverage consumption leads to almost 25% of carbon footprint across the world. And it is almost, responsible for more than 50% of the single-use plastics generated. So it's all food and beverage, right, which is the biggest culprit here. And alternatives doesn't support the shift in consumption behavior as they are not experience driven, thus failing to solve for the core problem, which is adoption of sustainable solution as a habit. Just a very quick example, right? So we have paper straws, but the adoption hasn't happened. The reason is it's not experience driven. It is just trying to replace plastic straws. We'll look into more existing problems caused by humans' unsustainable consumption behavior, which is the core problem, right? That we have unsustainable consumption behavior of food and beverage. So the first biggest problem is we generate a lot of waste, right? Just for example, we generate more than 3 billion straws every day across the world, which is 300 crore straws are used and thrown every day across the world. Looking at the carbon footprint, so we generate more than 25% of the carbon footprint because of our unsustainable behavior of consumption of food and beverages, which is 1/4 of the global carbon footprint that is on this planet. And a bigger reason, a bigger problem that we cause is loss of lives, right? Plastics are mistakenly eaten by turtles. Plastics are mistakenly eaten by birds. So there's so many mammals. There's so many marine lives which die because of eating plastic. Microplastics also come to our body via water and food sources. So it is also a reason of cancer in humans. And of course, the other problem is that seafood consumption worldwide kills millions of sea animals. That's again is a bigger problem because of our unsustainable consumption. What is the reason behind this particular unsustainable consumption? Not everything is our fault, right? Not everything is humans' fault. So the biggest reason we identified is why do we have this unsustainable behavior? It's because of first, which is lack of user incentives. I mean, let's take an example, right? We use plastic straw, we use paper straw, but after we have used it, do we have any other option? I mean, what do we do after that? So we don't have any option, we throw it away. So that is one of the biggest reason of waste generation, that we do not have any other option to to take care of the waste that is being generated. The second problem, the second reason for our unsustainable behavior, consumption behavior, is poor user experience. The products that are there in the market do not give top-notch user experience because, as I mentioned in the previous slides, they are not made for experience-driven. And this is what we are trying to do. And the third is unavailability of sustainable alternatives. We have very, very few sustainable, affordable solutions in the market, which is leading to humans' unsustainable consumption behavior. Now we'll look what NORM is proposing and how do we plan to solve these problems. So NORM proposes that we are going to build horizontal stack of sustainable solution where we are going to enhance the food and beverage consumption experience so that humans generate less waste. Humans are more comfortable in choosing a sustainable solution, and also at the same time it is enhancing their consumption experience. So we're taking care of everything, and we do that by building solutions across two verticals right now. One is plant-based snacks and the other one is plant-based seafood. In plant-based snacks, the product that we are building is sustainable edible packaging solution. You have edible drinking straw, you have edible spoon, forks, knives, and cups, and many other products and solution under this. These are ready to eat and healthy baked snacks, and also are 100% biodegradable. How does our current solution look? Although, so everything, whatever we have discussed up until now is a long-term and futuristic goal, but right now, this is our current status. We have made flavored edible drinking straw. They are very easy to pair with any beverage in the planet. If you want to drink your iced tea, if you want to drink your vanilla milkshake, your coffee, hot, cold, chocolate, whatever, the straws come in different shape, different size, and different flavor. So they are easy to pair with everything. You can use it like a straw and eat like a snack. This is the motto that we follow with our solution. It almost never melts and dissolves, so it always keeps the consumer experience intact, unlike other alternatives like paper straw, which gets soggy in say 1 minute. Our straw takes more than 40 minutes to get complete soggy, so that is long enough time for you to finish your beverage. So that's where we have made sure that we are not going to let consumer experience down. We are going to almost enhance the experience with our solution. This is a straw market size, since this is the only available product right now in our portfolio. As I mentioned earlier, there are more than 3 billion straws thrown away every day, which is 300 crore straws. So the total available market that we are looking at from a straw point of view is a $10 billion annual market. And we aim to capture 5% of the serviceable market, which brings our total annual market is up to $500 million market, which is a huge market. Just from an edible or just from the straw perspective, we have so many other solutions. So this market is only going to increase. We have a very interesting market validation. Ever since COVID hit, we had gone to zero, but very quickly we picked ourselves up, and now we are hitting a monthly recurring revenue of 2 lakhs INR every month. Domestically in India, we are currently supplying in 5 cities or states, as it is mentioned. We're also doing really well in terms of export, where a lot of people are loving what we have built. For the fact that it is vegan, it is plant-based, and it is really tasty. Take my word for it, that a lot of people are loving the solution. Our monthly sales volume have soared in past 3 months itself, ever since we came out of COVID, which was in July end. In 3 months of time, we grew from 0 to 50,000 straws every month, which we believe is a good volume to start with. We have good B2B customers in Horeca, which is hotels and hospitality industry. And we already have signed contracts from a couple of exporters for distribution in Eurasian, European, and North American market, which again is a big market validation, since these are signed contracts which needs to be executed. As I mentioned, we have a lot of plans of building horizontal solutions. So our future products is going to be edible ice cream spoon, edible tablespoon, forks, knives, ice cream cups, and of course, in plant-based seafood, plant-based shrimp is what the product category is going to be. As you can see, these are the prototypes which we built into our laboratory in some shape and form. The spoon image that you see, I took it from the internet. This is not our image, just giving a disclaimer here. This is just for the reference image. Our business model is really very, very straightforward right now. We are keeping it B2B, where we are tying up with restaurants, hotels, and providing our spoons and straws as a monthly order. And they in turn sell the straws and other items to their customers via adding it to their product in form of an add-on to their shakes and beverages, or they sell it on a standalone basis as well. So that's the fairly straightforward business model that we have. Competition, from a competitive analysis point of view, we have a fairly good number of competitors around the world, which is good because they are overall trying to build the market and increase the market as well. But good thing about Norm, which segregates us from all the other competitors, is that we are one of the only straw which is experience-driven, plant-based edible packaging company, which focuses a lot on the edibility part of it, which focuses a lot on the taste part of it. So as you can see, from a competition point of view, we fairly rate much higher than the other solutions available across the planet. This is the team which makes it happen. My co-founder Simran Rajput, she comes from chartered accountancy background. We have Piyush, who is our product developer, who develops our food product. We have Suresh, who is our senior R&D consultant. Kalpesh handles all the operations and manufacturing and production related activities. Ronak, who is a new joinee, who has recently joined us from IIM, and he's our business development guy. Vanshika is handling all the branding and strategy for us, and Mr. Kumar is our super senior R&D consultant, who is helping us in various food products and projects. So this is an interesting slide. You see a lot of testimonials we have started getting, where people are doing a lot of reordering. People are loving our straws in different shape and form. Good thing is that we have given them an opportunity of clubbing their beverage, or designing their beverage. That if you have a chocolate milkshake, you can club it with strawberry straw, you can club it with chocolate straw, you can club it with any flavor of the straw, and you change the whole experience of your beverage. So that's where we believe that the product that we have built is going to be very powerful and would be adopted. We have recently closed our first round of investment. The biggest group that we got is Yildiz Holding, who is basically a big conglomerate from Istanbul, Turkey. And we have Pradeep, who is our angel investor, Mr. Manish Kaushal, Kerod is our accelerator CEO from US. We also got through Raftar scheme of Government of India. So you can see a lot of investors, incubators, and accelerator, which also testifies that whatever we are doing is definitely on the right track. We have been highly capital efficient, right? Up until this month, we have contributed more than $35,000, which is roughly 25 to 30 lakh rupees of our own. But we built a good revenue out of it, right? So we built a monthly run rate of $3,000. We closed a round, which was $200,000 in this month itself. This is the monthly burn, which we project from January 2021, because we project a high growth for us. Like I said, we have also won a government grant. Collective grant is roughly around $40,000. Our runway is 16 months with zero revenue assumption after we have closed the round. And we believe and we hope that we would definitely hit our profitability in the next 6 months of time once we start scaling up our edible straws category. This is a very interesting slide. We are doing parallel processing right now. In edible straws, which is our first product commercially active, we are scaling up our manufacturing so that we hit 2 million straws every month. We are setting supply chain in few very key cities of the country. We are also getting all the licenses related to export, be it your US FDA, be it FSSC, BRC, so that we unlock our potential in the export market as well. And we are hiring across, sales and marketing to focus on sales, brand building, and operations. From an R&D point of view, which is going on back burner, which is our future products, the first product that we have started focusing on is ice cream.
You have taken extra time.
This is where we believe it gets interesting, right? A couple of our clients who are already taking straws have requested ice cream spoons from us. So for a spoon, we have started the basic R&D trials. We're getting a prototyping machine built, which can get us the product day in, day out from our laboratory. We are designing the recipes and processes, and we already have hired full-time R&D and a senior consultant. For a plant-based shrimp, we are very, very early stage. As you can see, we are still doing ideation and doing literature review. We are setting up an R&D team and setting up a laboratory for the preliminary trials and also designing initial recipes. So this is what is currently happening in the R&D, which will be our future product. This is how the future looks like, and it's a roadmap starting from January 2021.
Please conclude it. You have to develop your allocated time.
By the end of January 21, we want to hit 1 lakh straws a month, and we want to get US FDA registration. We want to get all the registrations so that we unlock our export potential. And then all the way to January 21, we want to hit say 25 million of straws, 10 million of spoons per month. And we also want to, launch our plant-based seafood in the next 1.5 or 2.5 years, as you can see from the roadmap. And how this is also interesting. A lot of people have done a lot of press for us, and this has all been organic. A lot of people reach out to us, given the fact that we've built something interesting. We have sent out samples to all these folks. People from Yahoo have done featuring for us. Springwise, which is one of the biggest publication house of the world in sustainable world, has done. Ideas from Good is a big publication agency from Japan who has done a feature for us. We've gotten featured on LinkedIn, Food Hacks, Sente. Everything is organic, so that is the best part. And
thank you very much, Mr. Sasank. My best wishes to you and your venture. So let me to not take much time and invite Purv Desai for his presentation. I request Purv Desai to please finish your presentation within the allocated time, and that is 7 minutes. Please.
Hi, my name is Purav Desai, and I'm the co-founder of Recube Circular Solutions. So the problem that we are trying to solve is the single-use plastic packaging crisis. India itself discards about 26,000 tons of single-use plastic waste daily, out of which 40% of it is contributed by two industries, which is the food and beverage and the FMCG industry, and 45% of it remains uncollected throughout. So the environmental cost of current packaging is too high, and the life cycle of each packaging is less than 30 minutes. That is single use, and it goes and it enters the landfill waterways and it causes a lot of issues. single-use packaging is also one of the highest contributors to climate change as well. So what is the issue that we are facing? Is the make, use, dispose economy, which is actually called the linear economy, which has created the issue in the last 50 years. What we are trying to transition towards is a reuse economy, making material that is as many times reusable and durable as possible. And what we finally want to transition towards is a circular economy, where whatever material is used is always in the loop and never gets leaked out in the environment. So the entire global market of sustainable packaging is about $85 billion. Total Indian market is about $5 billion. And our 5-year vision is to capture $100 million market of India in sustainable packaging. So how we do that? We have 3 ways that we go about with our solution. And it is the old age philosophy of reduce, reuse, and recycle. So how we are inculcated throughout the entire value chain is what I'm going to explain in this slide. We reduce the plastic content in our packaging by manufacturing reusable and durable packaging made out of crop waste. So we are limiting the plastic packaging in that content. We enable each packaging to be traced by a QR code, which helps us trace back each packaging as to where it is in the supply chain. We also set up unique systems, unique refill points and reuse mechanisms to ensure that each packaging is reused multiple times. So how we do that is that we create a closed loop system where we collect material back, sterilize it at a facility in Mumbai, and again bring it back into the system, effectively creating a closed loop economy. In the FMCG market, we are reducing the primary, secondary packaging by enabling mobile refill truck stations that will refill the home care and personal care liquids at the doorstep of a customer. And at the end of the day, we also ensure that every packaging that we are putting out into the system is collected back and ensure the entire life cycle and after its life cycle. So these are some of the products that we manufacture. We manufacture cups for food and beverage, and we manufacture containers as well for food. We work with over 70 plus clients such as Burger King, Starbucks, Thick Shake Factory, etc. And a lot of events as well that happen at Weekender and Supersonic. We've done about $600,000 in revenue in the past 1.5 years. We have a manufacturing capacity of 90 lakh pieces monthly, and we've worked with over 120 plus brands as such. Our material is made out of rice husk, bamboo fibers, wheat straw, and crop waste that mitigates plastic. So this is our IoT-enabled reusable packaging platform, which tracks back each packaging where it is in the system. We are also leading the refill revolution in India by having an e-refill truck come to the doorstep of a customer and refill it in their own packaging, thereby eliminating primary, secondary packaging, as well as least carbon emissions while transporting in terms of having a green supply chain. So we've signed to NDAs with Unilever and Nivea, one of the largest home care and personal care brands globally. So the entire point is to make sustainability affordable and accessible and make quality products without any packaging reach to customers' house. So by doing that, we add convenience of online shopping. We save money on each purchase because we sell it at less than the MRP price. We limit the plastic carbon footprint. And we also enable the poverty tax, which is essentially people buying it in small packets, but have to pay more. So we eliminate that usage as well. So after that, who are we? So we are a smart enterprise that changes the way stuff is consumed. We have 2 verticals, cuppable and refillable, primarily working in the F&B and FMCG market. We've been fortunate enough to be recognized by UN Young Champions of the Earth, which is, we were the Indian and Asia Pac regional finalists, which is one of the highest environmental honors globally. We were winners of Maharashtra Startup Week and Reboot the Ocean by UN, Greenpreneurs, and part of Unlimited India as well. So what exactly is our impact? We saved over 5 million plus disposables from going to the landfill. We have provided 1,000 plus farmers a subsidiary income, and we've saved over 28.8 tons of plastic from going to the landfill. What we ask from NCSI is connections to private and government housing societies for a refillable truck, connections with FMCG manufacturers and retailers for refillable, restaurant connects for cuppable, and corporates for CSR programs for plastic reduction. We also are on the lookout for strategic investment partners as well as partners for growth in both our verticals. Our investment need is about $1.5 million, which is equally divided between refillable and cuppable, and through different programs in terms of team building, infrastructure building, as well as our product expansion and global expansion. Our team is a mix of youth and expertise, having a background in manufacturing, marketing, as well as sales. We've been recognized by a lot of media publications globally, right from Forbes to Your Story to Clean Tech News in London. And we lucky enough to be featured across all the publications. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Purav Desai. You are doing excellent work. My good wishes are there to you, your team, and your venture. Now, let me invite Deepak VS for Tilt.
So, hi everyone. My name is Deepak. I'm the founder of a company called Tilt. So, we're a campus-first mobility platform. So, we started up about 2.5, 3 years ago to a problem that was very local to me at my university. Basically, getting around my university campus was very difficult. We couldn't go from point A to point B. And so we said there has to be an easier way to get around town, something that doesn't involve fuel-based transport, something that doesn't involve walking a long distance. And because we were students, something that wasn't too expensive. And so that was the inception of the idea that has now led to Tilt. So broadly speaking, the problem statement is something like this. In India, private vehicle ownership is really scarce. In fact, only 18% of the country owns private vehicles. And this translates to all sorts of demographics. So whether it's students, whether it's people working in corporates, residents at townships, on average, a lot of people don't own private vehicles, which means three things, right? The first, they're likely traveling through mass public transport, overcrowded buses, shuttles, trains, not the best form of commute, especially I think with point number 2, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, where it's a lot more unsafe to travel in sort of such close quarters and such crowded spaces. And so what will end up happening, or what is already happening according to early trends, is that people just buy more private two-wheelers or four-wheelers, which means more congestion, more traffic. None of these are desirable outcomes. And the second large learning that we have beyond the first statistic is that this problem goes far beyond cities. So there's a whole bunch of companies trying to solve this for cities. I mean, you can think about Ola and Uber, you can think about Shuttle, you can think about Bounce, Mobisi. But in campuses, and there are over 100,000 campuses across the country, the exact same problem persists. How do you get around your big campus, just like my university campus? And I think that's broadly the problem that we're looking to solve as still, right? Because a lot of these campuses are forced to run their own cab service, their own shuttle buses. It's not a great way to get around town, especially now again amid COVID, but also just in general, you have to wait a long time. It's not a comfortable way to travel, and they're very fixed routes. It's not personal commute. And so we believe, and we know for a fact actually now, that there's a very huge opportunity in trying to solve this problem. How do we give campuses across the country much better mobility? Right? And this includes manufacturing plants, IT parks, universities, townships, some parks, hotels, zoos, resorts, 100,000 campuses across the entire country. So existing players today are companies like Yulu, Mobisi, right, Bounce. Basically, they mass manufacture bikes or e-bikes, deploy them on Indian city streets, and then sort of work with the municipal corporation or smart city to run the show. And there are some problems with this model. Firstly, you don't know your users really well. There's a lot of theft and vandalism. They're not very loyal. They're not sticky users. They often sort of switch over to other modes of mobility. Whichever comes first is what they pick. Second is the economics are very poor. If you followed the bike share debacle that has taken place in countries like China, in Europe, anywhere in the West, in the US as well, companies like Ofo, Mobike have gone bankrupt. Companies like Lime, Bird are struggling to make a profit. They don't have a bottom line at all, or even a path to a bottom line. And the third, they're also not COVID ready. Mass manufactured bikes deployed on Indian city streets still present the exact same problem of not being well sanitized, not being trustworthy to use, especially from a community perspective. So the Tilt model is slightly different. We flip the entire equation on its head. We say, why don't we go to those 100,000 plus profitable pools of demand, those micro markets of campuses that definitely need better mobility. And it's not a unique idea. I mean, these campuses already struggle to do their own thing, right? They run shuttle buses, they run cabs, those little golf carts to try and get people around the entire campus. And so we want to take away the burden from them of running their own mobility solutions and instead deploy Tilt, right? Our bikes, our e-bikes, our e-cycles and e-bikes. So that's what we do as Tilt. And it overcomes all those three problems. So we know our users really well. I mean, in fact, we build communities everywhere that we go, whether it's students in campuses, employees in corporates, or residents in townships. We know our communities really well, which means no theft. We've never lost a bike till date. Extremely low vandalism. Second, profitable economics. In fact, we've made a profit in every single campus that we've gone to. The last 2 years, we've reported a bottom line while filing with the ROC. So we know the business model works, unlike any other company in this space. And third, it's COVID ready, right? We're able to genuinely maintain great markers for sanitization and cleanliness across the board with our vehicles, solely because we work B2B2C. So some campuses that were already deployed in Palava City, the country's largest private township. Tata Motors, TCS, big names in the space, and they see a lot of use for our bikes within their campuses. And we're working with Jamshedpur City. We also have a whole bunch of new upcoming projects. These are, like I said, corporates, universities, townships, across the board, a lot of campuses that see a lot of value in having shared bicycles, because it's eco-friendly, it's great for health, and it's a very low-cost, affordable way to commute around the entire campus. So some photos from our various projects. So you'll see, I think, more than bicycles, a lot of people, and that's because we build community everywhere that we go. We hold events, we get people really excited about using bicycles, e-cycles across the board. And that's the impact we want to deliver. We want to make sure that more people are using better mobility, safer mobility, healthier mobility, more sustainable mobility. So on the hardware side, we know that campuses don't like dockless fleets. So if you think about Yulu or Mobisi, or even say Chinese companies like Ofo, their bikes are all over the place. They're scattered everywhere. They're very chaotic. No manufacturing plant, no IT park, no university or township will let this kind of chaos reign within their campuses. And so we've developed our own patent pending hardware that's extremely affordable, that we set up inside campuses on a dock basis, that makes it very simple for a shared fleet of bikes, e-bikes, e-cycles to fly within a campus. On the revenue side, like I said, the last 2 years, we've had close to about a little more than a 3x jump in top line from operating revenue. This year, we're on track to exceeding 1 crore for turnover. And we're seeing a lot of interesting numbers in terms of recurring revenue, because a lot of users keep using our bikes very frequently. In fact, users use them more frequently as time passes, which is a very exciting metric for us. And we just raised an angel round. So aside from being backed by Y Combinator and Emerging Ventures, which is backed by the Peter Thiel Foundation, we have some fantastic angel investors who are from academia, from industry. They've built their own great companies, or they work in mobility companies like Uber, like Tata Motors. And so these people are the people who guide us on our journey and who brought us to this place. So what we need help from you guys, two things, I think. So the first is intra-campus mobility is a very big space. And we think there are a lot of campuses across the country that need this stuff. A lot of them lie in Maharashtra, a lot of them lie in Pune, for example. We'd love your help on that. And I think we also want to focus on home to work commute and what happens beyond COVID, right? So while the use case existed pre-COVID, COVID was simply an accelerant that got us there. So beyond COVID as well, how to keep people retained on using better mobility in their campuses. So like I said, the two asks, the first, access to campuses in Maharashtra. And the second, we're trying to raise the seed round now. So if you guys join us in the round, it'll be great. So this is what our team looks like. We're all a very young team, but rather well experienced in our individual domains. So Daksh has about 7 years of software experience. Sudhir used to work at L&T before he joined us as the embedded lead, and Rachit heads product and operations. We've won a bunch of awards so far, recently being the startup week at Maharashtra. And we'd love to sort of work more closely with you guys and your team. Thanks.
Thank you very much. It is an excellent innovation. Rather, I would like to share one thing with you, that ICR, Indian Agriculture Research system, has introduced one award for clean and green campus. And we have developed the guideline. Fortunately, I was the chairman of that committee, and we have kept this cycling in the campus as an advantage, and there would be some incentive to those institutions which are promoting the cycling or e-cycling in their campuses. So thank you very much for excellent presentation. My best wishes to you, and I hope in more and more campuses your innovation will go. Now the floor is open for the discussion.
Well, can I start?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, since that we have time slot is a little, we are short of time, so we'll take quick questions now. Over to you, Naga sir. Yeah.
Okay, fine. This is I'm addressing to Dom, Mr. Shashank. Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mr. Shashank, the snack, the flavored snack, these things, what you're manufacturing, what you're distributing and manufacturing, have you taken the FDA approval?
Yeah, so we have FSSAI approval in India, and
Food and Drug
currently,
Administration, how much it has got an impact on the human consumption? The one which you're using, the flavored snacks, has a lot of flavors. It has got one problem in the digestive system.
yeah,
And especially for the people when you cross age 40. And there are people, youngsters who are using, even at the age of 30, are having the problems. So have you taken appropriate FDA approval? Have you done the testing over the period of time? FDA approval is very important because what happens, you're also exporting. We get into the serious problem of anything connected with the digestive system and the consequential issues in the entire body. Have this been addressed by you?
yeah. So there are two things. We are undergoing FDA registration and approval as we speak of. We are currently in the pending state. Secondly, we have done all the tests from the FDA point of view. So we have done nutritional analysis, we have done quality testing, we have done everything from US FDA point of view, from NABL labs, and we are currently in the process of getting our US FDA.
Please give the FDA approval because overseas the damages are terrific.
I totally understand that. Yes.
This issue and human beings are involved. If at all you find there is some issue with this thing, you'll be running into a serious problem. So please take the appropriate FDA approval.
Agreed. So we are on that route, sir.
Yeah. And addressed to Queer Labs, I think I'll just put one question because we have a shortage of time. Queer Lab, I think Ms. Sonali is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, just want to check with you the system body of these things is exchange of the hard copy of the books, or the soft copy of the books?
So the real book, the hard copy of the book.
Hard copy of the book. The issue is that how the distance factor is going to. Suppose a boy is sitting in a X place and Y has got a book which is about 10 kilometers or 5 kilometers, 2 kilometers away. How that bridging is going to be done? How they can exchange the books? Have you studied this logistics?
Yes, sir. So within Flip, users exchange in a co-location. Yeah. So school being one of the co-location where thousands of students come together, irrespective of their age, irrespective of their social economic standings, they come together in a school. So within the safe premises of a school for the pilot is where we did the exchange of books, where a child requested a book and the lender brought the book and gave the book.
These schools are allowing because schools want their revenues affected because you start exchanging them books, they won't buy the new books from the school.
So this is for recreational books, sir. This is not for the textbooks.
Not for the textbooks. So plenty of e-books are available. These days, plenty of e-books are available. You find this thing is very viable. Have you done the proper market study for this?
Yes, sir. So we did do a market survey and we got an overwhelming feedback from parents saying that at this age, they prefer children reading physical books over e-books. Screen time is not preferred for younger children.
But it's going on other way around, let me tell you. Children are not listening to the parents.
So great. We have another 8 juries. So let's get to other questions. Tushar, you said you have a question.
I have a question for Sonal as well. So Sonal, I can see a lot of potential of engaging corporate volunteers with Flip. So do you have any plan or have you thought about this?
Yes. So while we piloted Flip in schools, because children are, it's easiest to make children avid readers at an early age. But we are testing it right now in other sort of, let's call it campus settings. So large housing societies, corporate IT parks, and several other places like this where people are kind of co-located. And then the sharing logistics becomes extremely easy and cost effective.
We can connect later see a lot of opportunities where corporate volunteers can help you to expand this initiative.
Yes, we're definitely open to those conversations.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Amol, you had a question. You are on mute, Amol. Amol, you are on mute.
Until then, Mandar, if I can go, because I wanted to ask question to the same set of founders, Sonal and Amol from Claps. Are you all planning to monetize this anytime soon? Because one of your asks was an investment going ahead, right? So
Yes.
what is like the revenue streams that you are looking to explore?
This is Rohit Goel from Windrose Capital. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. So, Flip is free for users. We want to basically break socioeconomic barriers and make knowledge available for users. We want to keep it free. However, we are looking at 2 revenue channels. So partnership with bookstores, publication houses, authors, in order to promote the sales of books. This is definitely one avenue. The other one is after a wide scale adoption, when we've got reasonably critical mass on the platform, we would like to get into data analysis where we are able to predict trends in reading habits, area demographics, popular genres, something like what Goodreads did for Amazon when Goodreads got acquired by Amazon, where Goodreads was basically being able to predict sales for Amazon. So we can become a feeder model of a similar kind for publication houses in terms of, what is going to be the next bestseller, depending on what is the trend in reading for children. So these are the revenue models we are definitely evaluating and considering.
Sounds good. Thanks for the crisp answer.
Sure.
Amol?
The answer to Rohit's question addresses my question, so no problem.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Bina, do you have any question for our innovators?
I just want to tell them that all their presentations have made us introspect our urban lifestyles. So I think thanks a lot. You have really made each and every one of us think. I've already asked many questions. My best wishes to you. In the interest of time, I would like to give someone else the opportunity to ask questions.
So we have a couple of questions from the participants. One, Mr. Yashwant Limay has asked, Tilt, that is Deepak, a question for you. How about charging infra, battery life and range? Deepak, you're on mute.
Yeah, is this better?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the interesting thing about working B2B2C in campuses, working in campuses is that the challenges of redistribution, maintenance really go down. So with the electric bikes, they run about 50 to 70 kilometers in a single charge, and no campus consumes 50 to 70 kilometers in a single day, right? Although we have 7-8 rides per bike per day, that still doesn't consume it. And so the operation cycle is very simple. It's our operators go in at midnight, put the batteries on charge, maintain all the bikes, put them back in, and it's live to go the next morning. So unlike the B2C players, this is not something that's abhorrently expensive for us. On a cost per bike, I mean, it's what you would expect. So a bicycle is about 6,000 to 7,000 rupees per bicycle, including the docking tech. For an e-cycle, it's about 25,000 rupees, including the docking tech.
Yes, I hope Yashwantji, I hope he's answered your question. There are a few more people who would want to ask the question, but they are unable to type it, and we are not able to give them access on the video. So I think Vipinji, over to you. I think we are done with the Q&A. We will request the participants to send us the question, and we will take it to the innovators later.
Thank you very much. So I'm thankful to all the innovators. They have made excellent presentations. Irrespective of that, who will get or who will not get, the award, but all are worthy. And my best wishes to all the innovators. They are really innovative. In fact, that is my compliment. I'm thankful to all the jury members, in fact, who have given time. I was watching that in previous sessions also continuously. They were eager to listen, the presentations, and their questions were very, very relevant. And I'm thankful to your time, your questions, and your help in this whole event. So let us conclude this session here. Thank you very much. I'm thankful to the organizers for this wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vipinji, for your time, and that concludes our session of urban innovation category. Thank you all. Moving to the next session. Now I would like to welcome our mentor, Mr. Sanjay Kanvinde. Yes, we have him here. Sanjay, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Mandar.
Yeah.
It's,
yes, we would like to request you to, as decided, on social enterprise mentoring program. And we also have our guest here. So after your talk, we will welcome our guests. So over to you, Sanjay.
Thanks, Mandar. Great sessions. It's a real pleasure to welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Vijay Mahajan. But before I do a more formal introduction, he had requested if we can spend a few minutes to share some information about what happens after the event. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to tell you about the mentorship program we have. As you saw, a lot of the innovators request for help. So we noticed about 3 years ago that there was something we can follow up on, and certainly go from an event-driven platform to a more process-driven platform. And with the kind support of Dr. Mashirkar and Dr. Kirkar, we were able to launch the mentorship program 3 years ago. So what happens is at the end of this event, we offer all the 18, not only the winners, but all the 18 participants of the conference have the option of joining the mentorship program. The mentorship program itself is part of the broader ecosystem of activities that PIC is doing. So there are 5 activities under the Social Innovation Lab, where the mentoring part is just one of the parts. We also have, obviously, the NCSI event, which we are attending today. We have the Shared Service Center to support these innovators. We have the Social Innovation Forum, and we also have quite a bit of work on the policy side that we do to support and the development of the ecosystem. So we have 6 mentors so far. We have Mr. Anil Kulkarni, Mr. Pramod Atle, Girendra Kasmalkar, Ram Iyer, and Mr. Amit Bhargava, who are part of the official mentoring program. And they are very ably supported by Mandar, obviously Pankaj and Nupur, and Hitendra Singh from the PIC office. We're all doing this on a volunteer basis, on a pro bono basis. We have around 125 years of experience, different experiences covering strategy, product development, finance, operations, marketing, and sales. We have helped last 3 years around 33 innovators. So we started with 9 of them in the first year, and then scaled it up to 14 last year, and continuing to build on that. So that's a little bit about the program. Quickly, how does it work? So each of the mentees is assigned a PIC mentor or 2. And what we try to do in the first few days in the weeks is just to listen to them and to understand what their challenges are and validate what they're really looking for in terms of help and support. In many cases, we actually take the time to actually go and visit the innovator to understand the context, because that really makes what we can do for them very clear, and gives us a lot of the contextual information. And then we agree with the team on what is the desired outcome in the midterm and the long term and the short term. And this is, we call it a process of building concurrence on where PIC can create value. And the focus is pretty much entirely around scaling them up, and most importantly, to build sustainability because that is a really key, as Dr. Mashirkar and Dr. Kelkar mentioned in their opening comments, is a lot of activities start, but to build sustainable enterprises is the challenge. And that's what we try to achieve in our 12-month mentoring program. PIC has around 400 members, so it has a great asset base of people, very accomplished people, and we tap into that, ask for their help, to open a door, to send an email, and really try to help the innovators to make a lot of progress in the next 12 months. A lot of focus is actually on action, less on theory. So we have an action plan, we try to execute on a weekly basis. And really, coming from the corporate world, there's a lot of focus on closing actions and making progress. And along the way, we also get to be cheerleaders. We don't wear pom-poms or do dances, but really celebrate their successes. And as they hit the milestones, it's a great joy to see them progress in the mentorship program. It's been very difficult to go through a lot of examples given the time, but we have 2 examples at the end of my talk. You'll hear what they got out of the program. But very broadly, if I look at the 33 innovators we have worked with, very broadly, I would say first is around strategy. A lot of us have worked in strategy for very big companies, global companies. So we can do a lot of quick interventions around just making sure that the strategy is correct, because if the strategy is wrong and you're doing a lot of things, it may not pan out. So that's one area where we have been able to contribute. Second is around just operational issues. A lot of them, especially in manufacturing or trying to build a first plant, etc. They have a lot of operational challenges. And we have mentors with a huge amount of operational experience who can guide them and support them as they work through them. Probably the biggest area is simply networking. We all have huge professional networks. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the PIC membership that has huge access to huge networks, from the government to private sector to finance. So half our job is simply picking up the phone or sending an email and making a connection and opening the door for them. The rest, they just walk through the door and things happen. There are specific contributions around sales, marketing, value capture, pricing. These are all level of details. But overall, I would say, is that we try to build trust. And in many cases, I would say at least the range of mentees we have worked with, it's not possible to be a specialist in all the different domains, but we learn just as much along the way. And I think I can say confidently, one thing we have is definitely the ability to ask an infinite number of stupid questions. And a lot of the mentoring is simply about asking a lot of questions and having a good discussion and making them see the world slightly differently, what they're doing and how they can change. So I think that's probably our greatest asset, is to ask just a lot of questions and work through the discussions. Also, one thing we have noticed is that for a lot of these entrepreneurs, especially single founder companies, it can be quite a lonely journey. It's an uphill battle. There are lots of challenges that we build. I think is probably the most sort of hidden contribution of the mentorship program, is that they can really have a fall at a time and get into an issue or just stressed about something or really dealing with a different situation. They can pick up the phone and call and get some feedback. So I'll wrap this up by just saying that there's a lot of opportunities to get involved. A lot of you have experience that you can share, knowledge you can share. A lot of you have incredible contacts in the government or in the private sector. And we would really appreciate to work with you. If you feel that any of these 18 innovators you saw, you would like to help them in any way, please get in touch, and we'll be extremely happy to have your support as we work through the mentorship program for this year. You can either contact Mandar, or you can send an email to SI, as in Social Innovation, at puneinternationalcenter.org, and we're very happy to discuss where you might be able to help these innovators. So that was a very brief overview of the mentorship program. If anybody of you wants to learn more, please get in touch, and we'll be very happy to share more details. At this point, I think, Mandar, we're going to play 2 small videos from our mentees from last year, and then I will do the formal introduction to welcome Mr. Mahajan.
Yes, Sanjay.
Hi, I am Akshita Sachdeva, co-founder of Trestle Labs, and we have been closely associated with PIC through NCSI since November 2018, where we were the winners of the urban track. Through that, we got to be a part of the Social Enterprise Mentorship Program by PIC with Mr. Sanjay Kanvinde as our mentor, who, with his expertise and experience, has helped us at almost all aspects of our business, all the way from product branding and positioning to team building and scale up. Through PIC's network, we have not only been able to scale our products in India, but also globally. Thank you, PIC, for great support, great mentors for life. Thank you.
I am founder of Partcare Labs. Currently, we are incubator at National Chemical Laboratory Pune under Venture Center. So we are working on sanitary napkin disposal and recycling to provide sustainable sanitation and hygiene to women at global level platform. So we have developed this safe, instant, and hygienic sanitary napkin disposal and recycling system to serve women through institutional organizations by our patent pending 5D technology, which is instant, odorless, and colorless, unlike traditional incinerators. We were part of NCSI 2018 under Pune International Center. Within these 2 to 3 years, we are getting continuous mentoring support from NCSI and Pune International Center team. So right now we are doing 5 pilots across the Pune city. We have received order from the government of Maharashtra as well, and we are serving 1,500 plus women on daily basis. We were deployed and number of units across the Pune city, and we dispose almost 1,500 plus pads and save almost 1 metric tons of carbon within last 2 to 3 years. Right now we are at technology readiness level 5. We are doing the pilot testing, taking the feedback from the users and the customers, and doing iterations in our product. We are looking forward to launch this product as soon as by end of this 2020. So during these 3 months of COVID-19, during uncertain times, we were tinkering around our core technology and developed UV Sathi as well as UV Handy, which is a UV based disinfection and sterilization system for area, surfaces, and other inanimate objects. And under again the guidance of the NCSI mentor, Mr. Sanjay sir, we were partnered with the renowned brand called Kinetic to take this product developed by the PCL at the global level platform. I am very thankful to NCSI team for continuous supporting us since the inception till during our this journey. Thank you.
Yeah, we have two of our superstars. They've done an amazing job over the last 12-18 months, and we are very proud still to work with them, and it's a great joy to see them succeed month after month and really deliver results. And really look forward to working with all our incoming NCSI 8 group of innovators, and really excited to see the difference you're going to make to India and to the world. So with that, I'll wrap up the part around the mentorship program, and now it's really a great pleasure and an honor to welcome our valedictory keynote speaker, Mr. Vijay Mahajan. It's a bit hard to know where to start because he's just such a famous and accomplished person, but I'll make a try. He's obviously very well known in the rural development space, the social entrepreneurship space, and also very well known for some of his policy contributions. Currently, he's the CEO and the director of the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation and the Rajiv Gandhi Institute for Contemporary Studies, which he joined in 2018. He's the founder of a very famous NGO called Pradhan, which was created, I think, in 1982, and since then has worked with over 1 million poor households. Along his journey, in 1991, he also founded the Basic Social Enterprise Group, which has now grown and has tremendous success and has grown to 10 for-profit enterprises and 3 non-profit social enterprises. And it's mind-boggling, the space it covers, right from microcredit to rural banking to agriculture, livestock services, solid waste management, and recently renewable energy and also carbon transactions. So through these 13 enterprises that have been set up through his group, it's an incredible contribution. He's on the boards and contributed to global groups. It's just too long to mention. I'll just mention a few interesting ones. So while he was doing the NGO and while he was building these 13 organizations, he also set up 3 industry associations. And really, it's amazing to see the contribution he has made to actually building the ecosystem itself, primarily in the area of development finance, microfinance, and livelihood finance. So it's really interesting, I'm sure, for him to see some of the innovators today who are trying to tackle these problems with modern technology. He serves on the board of many major NGOs and training institutions. And recently, he's also on the investment committee for Avishkar India Micro Venture Fund and the Mentera Social Investment Fund. So it's wonderful to see his experience also transition to financing for innovators and innovative companies. He's very well known globally, of course. He's a board member, and then he was a chair of the World Bank's consultative group to assist the poor. He was a co-chair of the World Economic Forum in Davos on the working group for social entrepreneurship. And as if that was not enough, he's made huge contributions on the policy side as well. He was a member of the several working groups related to the Planning Commission, the Rangarajan Committee on Financial Inclusion, the Raghuram Rajan Committee on Financial Sector Reforms, and he was also a part-time member of the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. So his contributions on the academic side are also so many. I'll just try to summarize in few words. He has 20 papers on this topic. He's contributed chapters in about 15 books. And he has, I think, 70 articles in the area of rural development, livelihood promotion, microfinance, financial inclusion, social innovation. He's a very distinguished alumnus of the IIM in Ahmedabad and the IIT in Delhi. And he was also a fellow at the Woodrow Wilson School of Public and International Affairs at Princeton University in US. So, sir, a very warm welcome to you. Really look forward to hearing from you. And it just strikes me the historical perspective you have since for a very long time, and also the wide and deep experience you have in specific topics related to social innovation. We are extremely honored, sir, to have you to address us today, and I really look forward to your talk. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Great. Dear Dr. Mashelkar, Dr. Kelkar, it's really, I was completely taken aback when I was asked to be a speaker, because I've had such a high admiration for the work that NCSI does and Pune International Center that I thought one day I'll attend it. But you know, when I was asked to give this speech, I thought, wow, well, at least Zoom has made something possible.
But Sanjay, as you sort of, thank you for introducing me in such detail. It's a bit embarrassing, but I think the only point I want to draw from there, which is really of general use, and I will elaborate on that in my presentation, is that is the Hindi proverb, "Ke akela chana bhar nahi phudta." What it means is that a single black drum does not break the the pot, the pot in which it is heated. It's got to be a number of such things. So really speaking, we have to, the kind of changes that we are all striving to do, and I was delighted to hear the 18 social innovators today, and the 2 who got the awards yesterday. So 20 of them, and there was more than once while listening to them, particularly the 2 yesterday who got the award, that one felt that this is such a fantastic way to apply one's knowledge and one's position in society. But we have to hold hands, and we have to build, as the term you already use, ecosystem. So if I can be, do I have screen sharing rights already, or can that be arranged by the organizers? Sorry, I
Yes,
forgot.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm very sure it can be organized. Mandar?
Yeah. So I intend to speak.
Yes, sure.
Is it possible? Yeah. Great. So I basically want to talk about 3 things today in about 10 minutes each. First is a reflection on where we are, where we should be going, and how. Of course, broadly, I'm talking of the economic context. I'm not speaking about the wider issues that face the nation, but really the economic. And within that, really, my focus is on the economy of the majority, then sharing with fellow entrepreneurs, including the 20 who presented, my own experience of setting about 20 plus innovations into enterprises, some for-profit, some cooperative, some non-profit. And not all of these succeeded, by the way. The fact that Sanjay mentioned only 13, and 3 of those are non-profits. So I've failed at least 5 times. And what's probably the biggest, at least the financial failure, is that the flagship company of the Basics Group pretty much packed up, So, and of course, the reasons for that are not something that I want to go into right now. But what I'm saying is that what I'm going to share with you as fellow entrepreneurs is lessons, not only successes. This is not about tootling successes. We have to understand both from our failures as well as successes. And thirdly, I'd like to, particularly taking advantage of the fact that the NCSI board members and senior staff members are here, Dr. Kilkar and Dr. Mashilkar probably. So I'd like to share some suggestions for building an ecosystem for innovation-based enterprises. So first, reflections on where we are, where we should be going. So according to me, GDP for India should mean green, digital, and pervasive. Pervasive means really inclusive, but we're trying to find something which begins with a P. So it's not going to be, particularly after COVID, if we go back to dirty GDP, or if we go back to old style, mainly physical manufacturing, or if we go to, rather skewed income distribution type of growth that we've had, we are going to have severe problems. And in fact, the fact that we've already seen a slowdown in the second decade of this century, is indicative of the fact that something is wrong with our growth model, even though it yielded good results after 1992, all the way till about 2007-8. Of course, there was the global meltdown, but still. So I am very much arguing that it should be green, it should be digital, and it should be pervasive. We have to stop material-intensive activities like mining and quarrying, logging, big hydroelectric projects. We must only promote green enterprises. And we saw several examples, both by entrepreneurs as well as by, it was wonderful to hear the speech by Mr. Vaidya yesterday. Till I heard him, I always thought of Indian Oil as just a petrol distribution, refining and distribution company. But there was such a huge amount of R&D that they have supported, and a lot of it was really aimed at conserving the environment. And I suddenly became sort of conscious of the fact that there must be, quite an engine on that front. I'll research more on that. But on the digital thing, I mean, there's, apart from the fact that it's a hot topic, there's a conceptual reason why we need to be digital. And that is because, ever since man was on earth, there was always matter. So was energy. But we started making machines, which meant we combined matter and energy to work in a manner that they could perform a function. And now in the 20th century, we've learned how to combine matter energy with information. So the new generation machines or devices should all be based on information and therefore digital. The third and most important thing is that at least the best of us have to stop thinking in terms of jobs. By that, I mean salaried jobs, either in government or large private sector companies. A day should come when entrepreneurial self-employment should be the first choice for every graduate, whether out of IITs or the ITIs. Although everybody cannot be an entrepreneur, I recognize that. And so this is not, and of course, there have to be some people who will become researchers and professors and IAS officers and so forth. But, just as the MBA became a very sort of popular and coveted thing, I hope that in this decade, being a self-employed entrepreneur should become that. And finally, and I'm sure this is music to Dr. Kelkar's ears, who has spent 50 years in the service of the Republic, that we have to stop depending on government for resources for setting up enterprises. We need to rely on own capital, community capital, and of course, the banking system. I think that period is gone when we should be looking at the state for even entrepreneurial resources. The second point I want to make is that I think the word enterprise is used rather loosely in our country, and I think we should start tightening it up, at least for this kind of a discourse. I don't mean for general economic measurement. The sixth economic census said there were 5.8 crore non-agricultural enterprises in India in 2013. By 2020, perhaps the number is 7.5 crores. The total employment that time was only 13 crores, which means the average employment was 2.25 per enterprise. 3/4 of those were household level subsistence enterprises, which meant that they were own account enterprises. They did not hire even a single worker. It was basically self and family, no hired worker. So it's obvious that we need to break out of this low energy orbit. And if we have to create non-farm employment to the extent that we need it, we need about 12 million people are entering the labor market every year. And if we really want a structural transformation in the Indian economy, then as much as maybe 1 crore persons need to get into non-farm employment every year. But that does not mean that everything has to be an innovation-based enterprise. let's talk in terms of, let's get out of this micro enterprise modality, although I've spent most of my work has been with microfinance, micro enterprises, and so on. I think we need to get out of that and talk in terms of enterprises which employ 10 or more workers. So I call them DECI, DECI, because of 10 enterprises. We can pronounce it as DECI. It also has a nice ring for Atmanirbhar. So what we need, therefore, for employing 1 crore workers is 10 lakh new DECI enterprises every year. Now that sounds like a tall order, but most of these will be Me Too enterprises. And rightly so. I mean, we don't need, society won't be able to handle that level of innovation. Now, if we assume an imitation ratio of 1:100, we need only 10,000 innovation enterprises per annum. The rest are Me Too's, and 10,000 sounds like a very highly doable number, even going by the experience of NCSI, where I believe this year alone, you received hundreds of applications for innovation-based enterprises to be recognized. So I think we are at a phase where we can finally crack, one of the key constraints in India, which is not any more capital, but how to access capital for promoting enterprises and employment. And that is through the route of innovation-based enterprises. Once those are established, then the Me Too's will find it much easier to get funding and so on and so forth. And I'll give you examples of this. What would they do actually? Since I'm talking about digital and green, so let me first refer to the digital. Just in financial inclusion, I've spent a lot of my life in the banking and insurance sector, establishing thousands of outlets on the ground where people could open bank accounts and operate their savings accounts without having to go to a bank branch. Right now, there are close to 3 lakh such outlets. Every one of them is run by a self-employed person who typically often employs 2-3 others. There's, particularly after COVID, similarly, there can be hundreds of such, thousands of telemedicine outlets, digital education outlets, skilling and employment. We need these to be organized in the form of self-help groups and their federations, cooperatives, 150,000 of them exist, farmer producer companies. We want these to be largely non-farm. So of course we have a large agriculture sector, but processing, of course, handloom and handicrafts, construction, services. And because at least 70% of the jobs will still be in rural India, so we have to deal with markets which are distant and therefore internet commerce-based models. And finally, to recognize the fact that a lot of the nation should ideally roughly 50% is women, and a lot of the nation is young. So these should be gender and Gen Next led enterprises. And these corrections can easily be made in the digital world than in the old established, physical industrial world. So what I'm suggesting is these are the attributes of the new digital DC enterprises. Likewise, the green DC enterprises, the water, energy, land, and livestock related. I won't go into the detail, but as many of the examples over the last 2 days showed, that we have a crisis with respect to water, we have a crisis with respect to non-renewable energy sources, we have degraded our land, our soil, livestock related issues. We need to reinvest in our natural resources. And let's do that in an enterprise framework rather than in a government budgetary, government program framework, which, as we know, has severe limitations and does not work very well for a large scale purpose. So these are some examples, whether it is livestock rearing or whether it is micro-hydel power plants. There's a apple plantation in Himachal, fairly high tech. Herbal plantation in Chhattisgarh, which I visited, again, exporting to Germany. There are, a 250,000 common service centers in the country, providing e-governance services. In Odisha, there's a tribal enterprise using sabai grass, ecotourism enterprise in Madhya Pradesh, handicrafts, of course. I couldn't resist putting this picture because it's name, same, but different shop. And then telemedicine in Arunachal, of all the places. So what I'm talking about is already happening on the ground, but what we need is a national program. And Dr. Kelkar, I'm particularly addressing you, sir. If you could add your voice to this, it would be great if we can promote this type of enterprises. Now, let me just move on to this second part of my, what I want to say. And this is addressed to my fellow entrepreneurs. And I want to share the experience of the enterprises that I've set up. At last count, they were working with over 5 million lower income, tribal, rural, and urban households. They've channeled over 20,000 crores to these households. About 80% of that is in the form of loans. Equity capital has been fairly modest, only about 300 crores. And the rest of the capital, about 17-18%, has been government funding in the form of grants, viability gap. There's also been some donor funds. I mean, the purpose of telling you this is that these are serious sized, scaled enterprises as a system. And the point I want to make, and I'm going to do some hard talk here, is that every dreamer is not an entrepreneur. And, a lot of people come to meet me who say, sir, I have this startup idea and I want to do this. But, if you don't like to deal with people, first and foremost, consumers, your potential customers, or people who will be your colleagues, your co-workers, and people who are your critics, then I don't think you should get into this kitchen called setting up an enterprise. It's amazing the number of people I meet who take pride in the fact that they've developed their ideas sitting in a lab or in a campus, and have never actually gone out and interacted with their potential users. You fail the marketing 101 test there. The definition of the need has to come from the consumers, and the feedback from the consumers at the early stages of the product idea is extremely important. And I can't underline this point too much. Secondly, I find a significant percentage of people, including those with technical and social sector background, tend to say, well, I have this idea, I have great passion for it, but don't talk to me about finance and accounts and all that stuff. I'll just hire somebody who can do that. I'll hire a CA, or I have a very good CA friend. Again, my advice is, please don't get into setting up an enterprise if you do not understand accounting, first of all, and then do not understand finance. And the two are not the same thing. And the third is, please don't try and set up an enterprise if you don't like to deal with regulation. In the jury questions today, you saw more than once, questions were raised about, have you taken this permission, pollution control board permission, FEMA permission, this, that. The fact is, almost anything that we do requires regulatory clearances of all kinds. A bit too many in India, but despite ease of doing business. But the fact is that if we don't want to spend time on any one of these three, as far as I'm concerned, you already failed the test. You're a dreamer, you're not an entrepreneur. So my friends, please apply this test to yourselves. And if you're getting even a C, the least you need to get is a B minus in each of these. If you're getting a C, at the least get yourself a crash course to change your knowledge and attitude toward these. The second thing is every innovation cannot become an enterprise. This graph is a bit tight, but I hope you can see it later also. I'll be happy to share this presentation with the organizers. But you know, every enterprise has a financial janma patri. You don't end up going from the origin to the right hand side of the x-axis in just 1 year or even 1 decade. For many enterprises, they will never actually get to the IPO stage at all. A lot of them won't even get to raising private equity. Some of them may raise venture capital. A vast majority of them, sadly, will die at the seed funding stage. So it's very important that we understand this Janma Patri, and the red line here is the costs, and the green line is the revenue. And we've got to work hard to ensure that we reach that point, the point X2, where the total revenue exceeds total cost. And only then would you have broken even, and that's not good enough, by the way, to get financing. But at least you can get into a conversation at that stage. You know, so it's very, very important that this diagram is internalized by every entrepreneur, and we chart our journey keeping this in mind. And by the way, this is equally true of a social enterprise. In my mind, the only difference between a regular enterprise and a social enterprise is that in a social enterprise, the surpluses are not substantially returned to the people who deployed the capital, the shareholders, but they are largely plowed back into performing the objective for which the organization was set up. But they are, nevertheless, even a social enterprise cannot just survive without, crossing the break-even point sooner or later. Now, the thing is that if we do reach this last stage, we would want to scale up. And scaling up has its own challenges. The standard way of scaling up is, oh, we will grow as an enterprise ourselves. But I'm challenging that, and I'm suggesting 3 other ways. One example of scaling up is through multi-tier value chains. The most well-known example of that is Amul, which has at least 5 tiers: the milk producer, the primary village level dairy cooperative society, the district milk union, the state level federation like GCMMF, and then national level entities like Mother Dairy. This together is a 2 lakh crore empire. But it's not owned by a single person or even a single legal entity. It's thousands of legal entities. But the basic idea that was Amul has got scaled up thanks to this model, what was called the Anand Pattern Cooperative. A less well-known example is the common service centers, which are basically IT kiosks from which e-governance services are provided. I showed you a picture of one of those. There are close to 250,000 CSCs in the country right now. There are district IT societies in some states. There are multi-district CSC operational companies like eSahaj in some states. Basics itself used to run about 10,000 such centers in 5 states. Then there are state-level entities like AP Online, which is a joint venture between TCS and AP government, and Rajasthan, and it's called eMitra. And then there are national level entities like CSC Governance Services Limited, which is a public enterprise, but it has some private sector participation. Basics is a shareholder in this. These CSCs are serving 10 million persons every day. So that's scale. But once again, these are not owned by any single one large company. This is not like a single megalith. So there are other models of scaling up. Let me give you another example of scaling up, which is through micro franchising. Again, Amul, but this is not the co-op side of Amul. This is how they market their products. So you would have seen these Amul ice cream parlors, lots of places. They're not owned by Amul. They're owned by an individual entrepreneur who's not an employee. He makes his money by using the Amul brand, buying goods from Amul, but he is an entrepreneur. So this concept is called micro franchising. Likewise, this IT kiosk of CSCs. Likewise, you would have seen mobile repair centers of famous companies. So, but there's a third way that you can scale up, and that's will bring me to my last part of my presentation. We can scale up by building but building an ecosystem. The IT sector of India is the most well-known example. Last year, $140 billion worth of exports. And the components of that ecosystem. But microfinance is a less known example. That ecosystem served 40 million clients last year in 2019. And it has large number of front-end actors, about 3 lakh microcredit agents, about 10 lakh credit groups. There are microfinance providers, NGOs, MFIs, NBFCs, banks, there are technology service providers, there are service entities, credit bureaus, rating agencies, trainers, and there are regulators, SROs, industry forums. So this whole ecosystem, and at least in case of microfinance, I can tell you, since I set up India's first commercial microfinance entity in 1996, building this ecosystem has taken 20 years. But now microfinance is a well-established asset class in the Indian financial sector. Last year, total microfinance was 250,000 crores. So now it's a machine that will run on its own. Not that it will not have any problems. But so if I had to do this through basics, I'd be dead, and probably basics would not be able to do it. But by building an ecosystem, we are able to do it. So let me come to my third and last point. I first of all want to congratulate NCSI and the organizers for doing a great job, for your mentors, Dr. Mashilkar, Dr. Kilkar, and others, people like Sanjay Kanvinde, who are acting as mentors to the entrepreneurs. I greatly admire what you're doing, but I have some suggestions as a friend. The first is a need to go truly all India. If you are indeed N for national, then it can't be a Punetra Mulga. It has to be, and I'm glad there were entries from Nagaland and Tamil Nadu. It's a good trend, but we've got to go to the Hindi heartland and the north. So how about a Patna-Pune partnership? Also, we need to go beyond recognition and awards. The mentoring program that Sanjay described is perfect in the right direction, but it needs to become the main offering of NCSI. And mentoring can't be just advice. It'll have to be linkages with the financial and human resources, with markets and inputs. All of that is a must. Finally, different stages of innovation-based enterprise require different types of support. Different support at the stage of identification of the need or problem, different at the stage of ideation for solutions, different for iterative testing and improvements, different for incubation, and different for increase in scale, scope, and sustainability. So to end, I would say all this cannot be done by a single organization. We need to build an ecosystem for supporting innovation-based enterprises if we have to promote at least 10,000 IDEs per annum. With that, I really want to once again compliment not just the 18 who appeared in front of the jury today, but the many hundreds who applied, others who are watching, and others who will try. And I want to, of course, applaud the role of Dr. Mashelkar, Dr. Kilkar, and the rest of the people behind the NCSI idea. I must say that I'm an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad, and though Professor Anil Gupta was not there when I was a student, but I know him well, and it's great to see that he was also involved with the NCSI idea and the NIF. So it was really wonderful to be with all of you. Thank you so much.
Very much, sir. I think you have given us so many things to ponder deeply in such a short period of time, and we really appreciate that. I don't think we'll be able to do a full Q&A. Maybe if you are okay with that, sir, we would like to actually have a separate meeting with you at PIC and have the opportunity to actually dig in a bit deeper and get your guidance on some of the areas where we see ourselves contributing in the next 3 to 5 years. So would really appreciate you being able to spend an hour or two with us. We'll follow up on that if that's okay with you, sir.
Yes, I'd be delighted. I'd already told Giri that, in fact, the formality of this event is fine, but I really want to be associated with the NCSI in kind of an ongoing way by just helping you think through your strategy and be of some use.
That'll be wonderful, sir. And I think your point about I think the Hindi heartland, I think, is very valid. We have really made a very hard effort to reach out to the Northeast. And we are extremely happy to see getting applicants from the Northeast, which we were not seeing 5 years ago. The word is spreading, and I think that's, I personally visited Nagaland last year and talked to a lot of people in the ecosystem. I completely agree with you. So we have a huge role to spread the word and really make it much more inclusive. I completely agree. So you'll be happy to know that a lot of incubators have also asked us to share our experiences, and we have taken that quite seriously starting this year, where we are actually trying to capture our lessons learned, sharing what we have learned with the ecosystem partners. And we have at least 8 or 9 incubators that we are working very closely with. We are sharing experiences, sharing knowledge, sharing lessons learned, and just helping each other out as supporting institutions. So that's something, another area we want to work a lot in the next 3 years and continue to make that ecosystem to mature. So I really, really thank you, sir, because we're a bit short of time, but I would really appreciate to follow up with you and see what we can do. Really appreciate it. Over to you.
Thank you,
Giri,
sir.
Giri is there. I saw Giri there for a minute. Did you want to say something, Giri? Okay, Mandar, over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sanjay. Vijay sir, thank you so much for your valuable inputs and insights and inspiring the participants and the innovators. Now it's time to do the NCSI prize distribution, and we have to declare the winners. We really had to, go through it in detail. It was a tough fight. We have lovely innovators here, but ultimately at the end of the day, we have one winner in each category. So going with the tribal category, we had 6 innovators. I would now like to declare the winner of the tribal category. If it was a live event, I would have asked the guesses, but unfortunately, this is a platform where we cannot do that. So I'll have to straight come to the point and declare the winner in tribal category. That's Ulgulan Foundation, Nitesh Bharadwaj. He's working to create social awareness and raising local issues by using mobile films in tribal areas of Maharashtra. And he wins a cash prize of 50,000 rupees. If we have that check, we can just congratulations Ulgulan Foundation and the team for winning this first prize in this category. We wish you all the best and look forward to be associated with you for, and yes, we clap for him. Thank you so much. Moving to the next category, it's a rural category. Again, it was the same thing. We had a very touch and go, very tough fight in this particular category as well. The lovely innovations, as all of you have heard. So let me declare the winner without taking much time. This is Distinct Horizons Ayush Nigam. He is innovating agricultural machinery that can double the profits of farmers and reduce GHG emissions in 5 times lesser cost than solar panels and half the time. Congratulations, Ayush and his team and Distinct Horizon team. The third and the last category in our all 3 categories that comes, we come to urban category. Yeah, this was a very interesting innovator. That's Earth Tattva Shashank Nimkar, who works to reduce mining for natural resources by making products from recycled ceramics under closed loop zero waste manufacturing process. So congratulations to all our winners from these 3 categories. Tribal is Ulugun Foundation, Nitesh Bharadwaj. Rural is Distinct Horizon, Ayush Nigam. And urban category is Earth Tattva, Shashank Nimkar. So these are our winners. And on behalf of the entire PIC team and the participants, I congratulate them and will welcome them on board as mentors, mentees, if they, yeah, so that's something which we will come to them later. But congratulations again and look forward to work with you in coming year. Congratulations. With that, I would now welcome our, I would like to welcome Hitendra Singh to propose the vote of thanks and the next steps. Hitendra.
Hi, Mandar.
Over to you, Hitendra. Thank you so much.
Hi, Mandar. Thank you. Vijay sir, I am also a fellow IMA alumnus, and I have been associated with Social Innovation Lab for last 3 years. And coming from Hindi heartland, it warmed my heart when you mentioned the point about Pune and Patna partnership. So thank you very much for mentioning that. Thank you everyone for being with us for the 2-day event. We have missed being in person, being able to see each other, the energy that we derive from each other, and hopefully next year by the time it's time for next NCSI, we would have found a way where we would be back in the real gathering and real meeting. I will do what I have been called upon to. I would propose a vote of thanks. I will talk a few things about what we are looking to do at the Social Innovation Lab. This event, to begin with, we would want to thank all the esteemed guests, which made it very special for us, starting with our chief guest yesterday, Mr. Vaidya. All the session chairs who chaired different session and brought the event live. We would want to thank all the jury members, people from our CSR fraternity, people from our innovation ecosystem, angel investors. Your time and contribution is really appreciated. Dr. Mashelkar, Dr. Kelkar, thank you so much for continuing to inspire us. Your ideas and energy give us fresh momentum, fresh impetus every time to take this further and keep on making better. PIC trustees, PIC members, especially all the mentors who go beyond the regular realm of PIC members and put in a lot of time and effort in making this program happen. If we have made a progress in last 3 to 4 years in taking this program beyond the day-long event and making it what it is today, it wouldn't have been possible without the excellent set of mentors that we have. We are really fortunate to have you all with us. All our partners, especially TIS and NIF, who have been partner of NCSI ever since it started. It's been 8 years in the making. It has evolved in its pattern, in its format. And thank you for being part of our journey all through this time. A special word of thanks to all the ecosystem partner, the various incubators that we trialed out. Thank you for your patience with us while we were trying to figure out what we are doing and how do we make it better. The thing that Sanjay talked about, the eight people in the ecosystem that we are going to be working deeply with, it has taken us 3 to 4 years to figure out, for them to figure out what we do, for us to really figure out where we are in the entire ecosystem. And I think that relationship has meant a lot. I would want to especially take a few names, our Pune-based ecosystem partners, Venture Center in particular, Bhau Institute in particular, our ecosystem partner in Najsik, Digital Impact Square Foundation. You have and many others who have been with us. Thank you so much. The friends in academia, professors who talk about this, spread the word in their students who come forward. You have made a big difference. The friends in media. And last but not the least, the entire Social Innovation Lab team, which is led by Mandar. They have put in tremendous work behind the scene. The entire PIC office, I think they have done tremendous work. If we were in person, I would have called for a big round of applause. So here is a virtual big round of applause for every one of you for making this event happen. Thank you, sir. Before I get on to the second thing on way forward, I would want, and I know it's been covered briefly and Sanjay has articulated it beautifully. I would trace back steps and say what has been our journey so far so that it gives a context of where we are looking to go and how we are invested in the process. NCSI, as I mentioned, has been an 8-year event. It's a flagship event of Pune International Center. And it has the support of everyone from president to the trustees to members. And NCSI started as a platform for doing discussion and deliberation when an initial 2 or 3 NCSI Professor Anil Gupta conceived the idea, and we had some of the leading social entrepreneurs from all over the country coming and deliberating on the issue. And I think we are thankful for their wisdom that within 2 to 3 years, they said, hey, there are enough talking spaces in the country. We want this to become an action space. And from then onwards, I'll briefly lay out the milestones that we have achieved, but it's been a journey towards making it beyond talking and doing. So first step was to make it a place where smaller, younger doesn't mean just age-wise younger at heart entrepreneurs come, bring out their idea. It becomes a platform where they start talking about their ideas. Dr. Mashelkar, Dr. Kelkar, and various other PIC members use a lot of their goodwill and personal offices to ensure that there is a wide participation from the fraternity of CSRs of different organizations. Every year, I'm very proud that every year we have been getting close to 30 to 35 CSR partners, and particularly in the last 3 to 4 years, that has also included a lot of investor and ecosystem partners like incubators, accelerator. So it became a place where everyone started mingling, started exchanging ideas. Then Dr. Mashelkar initially first proposed the idea that this movement should become a movement. And that's where we started going beyond just doing a day-long event, and we started adding few elements to our program, Social Innovation Forum that Sanjay talked about. Next year, Dr. Kelkar mentioned the idea that it should become a social innovation lab. And we added a Social Innovation Forum, we added the mentorship program. I still remember the first call that I made to our founding mentors, and even though there was nothing, they all readily agreed and jumped in and supported the idea. From there onward, it has been a journey to establish, I think, probably one of the programs in social enterprise space that has been consistent all through this year. And we have taken our time, but I think we have steadily been building on that program. We added shared service center for social enterprises. Vijay sir, we didn't know the idea what we would. We knew what we wanted to do, and I would think it would be close to the linkages that you're mentioning, linkages to financial market or linkages to. So idea behind the shared service center was to create a community of social enterprise minded service provider who would be validated and pre-vetted, and they would be able to support the social entrepreneurs. Then we got a lot of CSR supporters. I would in particular want to mention Citibank, which came early on, JSW Foundation, Lupin Foundation. They helped in putting together some of these programs, and many of them continue to support even today. And that has allowed us to extend our support through shared service enterprises a lot more. So as Sanjay mentioned it, at this point of time, we have close to 33 social enterprises that have been part of this program, and we continue to be involved with them, cheerlead them, advise them, be their mentor, be their support. And it feels very satisfying when you see them being featured on some of the places like CNBC. If I'm not mistaken, one of our entrepreneur Mayur Sanas, who was working on a vaccine carrying device, he was part of NDTB as part of discussion on how vaccine is going to be distributed to people. Today we had someone who was addressing the burning issue of how to make sure the farmers get the MSP realization. We had someone who was solving the problem of COVID. So we are getting there, and our entrepreneurs are ahead of us, and they are actually making that difference. So I'm very glad that this has happened. And finally, I'll just mention 2 or 3 things that we would want to achieve going forward. I think Sanjay has already mentioned one part. I think up till now, we were not sure of how we are going to be evolving, but now I think we have got a clear idea of what we are doing. And we would want to drive deeper engagement with our ecosystem partners. So we are looking to outreach with more people to figure out how we can add more value into the entire ecosystem and how we can gain with each other. So that's something which we are definitely looking to, both in terms of number of people that we reach out to and the depth of engagement that we have with our ecosystem partners. Second, sir, your point about making it a pan-India event. We, right from the beginning, sir, that's a value that Dr. Kelkar and Dr. Mashelkar instilled, that it has to be a pan-India event. And one of the metrics that we had for 4 to 5 years was how many applications were coming from different states. And never we have been less than 17 to 18. But this time, beyond numbers, we want to go, and we would probably want to establish deeper linkages in different parts of innovation ecosystem. So that's second thing that we would want to do, expand the reach. And third thing, we would definitely take upon the shared service center social enterprise idea that we have developed. And we are going to be looking to add or bring on board more service provider, make the linkages to not just financial resources, service provider resources, people who would want to work, maybe employees who would want to be there, maybe co-founders who would want to join. So we would be looking to do those things better. So it's been a great journey of last 3 to 4 years, and we are going to be taking concrete steps to make the reality of 3-4 steps that we have laid out. And we are going to be following up on those activities. It started with a day-long event, Dr. Mashelkar's call of making the movement into a movement. And from there on, it's been a journey towards action, and we're looking forward to continue that journey through this excellent set of new innovators who have presented, and we are looking forward to have all of them join the mentorship program. So on behalf of everyone at Pune International Center, I would want all of you to be Mela, do we have further agenda item?
So Hitendra, before you thank everybody, the last point is we wanted to recognize one person who has been a part of our team for almost more than 3 years, and felicitate him. I would like to bring that to everybody's notice, that we want to felicitate Mr. Sanjay Kanvinde for being an excellent mentor. And this will be, we could have given a plaque, but as an outstanding mentor, we would like to facilitate at this forum. Thank you, Sanjay, for being an outstanding mentor. There are quite a lot of success stories that you have brought out in last 3-4 years. So this is a mention that we wanted to do it here, and would look forward to continue working with you and mentor many social innovators. Those are coming at PIC Social Innovation Lab. So thank you, Sanjay. look forward to keep working with you.
Thank you, Mandar.
Congratulations. Yes, Hitendra.
Mandar, if Sanjay allows me, I would also want to say that beyond being a mentor to the PIC program, there have been many moments where Sanjay has mentored me. So I have also benefited from being his mentee, not in the PIC program, but otherwise from his advice. So I can vouch for it firsthand from both sides of perspective. So thank you, Sanjay, so much. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Sanjay. Yes, yes, Hitendra. I mean, we can just conclude it now. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Dr. Kelkar, did I miss Dr. Kelkar?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he's here.
Sir, would you want to?
No, Hitendra, I just want to add my voice of great appreciation and thanks to our distinguished speaker this evening, Sri Mahajan. I think his advice was very, very sagacious, and his suggestion for how we improve our NCSI is extremely important. I think we will take on board what he has said, and as Sanjay mentioned to him, that we may have a separate session with him to pursue his ideas of how to strengthen this particular activity of PIC. So once again, Mahajan Sahab, I want to really express my personal gratitude and also gratitude of all my colleagues of the PIC for speaking this evening. Thank you very much. So Hitendra, you can now...
you're on mute, Hitendra.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yes, sir.
No, you can now give your final remarks.
Yeah. No, so thank you so much, sir. And Vijay, sir, we'll certainly be looking forward to, I have taken copious notes from your session, so we will be looking to reach out to you and connect with you again. And with this, Mandar, we can call it a close?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you for being a wonderful interactive audience for last 2 days. Like I said, like everyone else, I'm hoping that we will be in normal times next year, and we would be getting back together physically. And I particularly am missing out on the energy that we have when all of us are there in one room and talking about ideas that are creating social impact. So thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend and look forward to staying in touch with you for the rest of the year.
And
thank
congratulations to all three winners.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a great weekend. Thank you so much.